pick up the phone and call me. I'll be there. Girl, let me show you. You're my one and only, like I told you. I'll be there. And if you get blue, I got the loving for you. Yeah, I'll be there. Your heartache, it kills me, but your loving, it thrills me. I'll be there. Whatever tomorrow may hold, I know you're the one for me, child. And when we're together, my love, you give me hope and a way to cope. Yeah, yeah. I'll be there. Ooh, I'll be there. And when I'm at home, I got no one to hold. Won't you tell me I'll be there? If my mind is reeling from the stress that I'm feeling, I need you. I'll be there. I just need your love, and I long for your touch. Won't you tell me I'll be there? Your loneliness kills me, but your loving, it thrills me. Won't you speak those words? I'll be there. Whatever tomorrow may hold, I know you're the one for me, child. And when we're together, my love, you give me hope and a way to cope. Yeah, whenever you're lonely, just pick up the phone and call me. I'll be there. Girl, let me show you. You're my one and only, like I told you. I'll be there. 'Cause if you get blue, I got the loving for you. I'll show. I'll be there. Your heartache, it kills me, but your loving, it thrills me. Yeah, I'll be there. Whatever tomorrow may hold, I know you're the one for me, child. And when we're together, my love, you give me hope and a way to cope. Yeah, yeah.
Even if they implemented some ridiculous laws, this is something that if somebody truly wants to do this, they can still do it. But it's going to take a lot of effort on the vapors' part to actually learn what it takes to make your own stuff. I don't know what the heck happened to the last hour of my life, but it certainly wasn't streamed on YouTube like I thought it was. Restrictive policies block progress towards smoke-free world. Many people incorrectly think that very little nicotine content cigarettes are less carcinogenic than current cigarettes. This risk misperception by people who smoke could reduce motivation to quit under a nicotine reduction policy.
Someone who specialises in helping people kick the habit is Dr. Colin Mendelsohn. He joins me now.
Look, vaping is a far less harmful alternative to smoking for adult smokers who just can't quit, and that's actually the majority of them.
The road to quitting smoking is paved with candy. Double chocolate clear from TFA. Published in the Vaping Post, we have long-term study. Vaping increases odds of quitting heavy smoking. concur with you. I've only been doing this for 2, coming on 3 years now. But I definitely feel so much better. Mrs. Hunky Vape gave me the first ever super chat. That is awesome. Thank you. You really know how to make my day. For those of you that don't know, this is Kenny Thompson, the Vaping Heed. He's got a YouTube channel. He's been on here a lot longer than I have. I'm not going to stop until this is legal and available for everyone. You know, I cover things from all around the globe, but that's because science has no boundary.
I mean, you know, the FDA and everything will know that vaping is safer than smoking, but they'll have the pressure off the tobacco companies or the states that are on the MSA and all that. It's just a financial thing, and unfortunately that takes precedence against everything. And
all of the things we went through. 'Cause even though we were broke as hell, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything. If I throw a coin down a wishing well, I wish I could feel it again, the way that I felt for you then. 'Cause even though change anything.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Happy New Year to all of you. It's 2023, and that was the wrap-up of last year.
I must say, well done on that. Like, that was a cracking intro. That absolutely brilliant.
Took me all day yesterday to throw that together, go through a whole terabyte of video files from all the live shows from last year, but I think it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, take a bow, sir. Take a bow.
So happy New Year to all of you out there.
Yeah.
Hope you all had a fantastic celebration for the new year. Time to start anew. Pick new battles.
Yeah.
Pick your new goals. New priorities.
Gonna be fun and games, eh? Another year of, shall we say, uphill struggles?
Yeah, well, life is nothing but an uphill struggle. It's all in how you look at it, what's your perspective on it, and how you go taking on these challenges that all of us face day after day. Everybody has their own struggles that they go through. That's why, the whole Be Kind movement is really, really taken off, because you don't know what the other person's going through or what they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis in their life. You don't know how many people, are out there that have cancer or COPD or, congestive heart failure, or have a parent that's, on the end stages of their life. And those all really hit people hard, and most people don't bother to talk about those things.
True, very true.
A lot of us, that's how we deal with stuff, is we just brush it aside and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Problems are one thing that never go away. You can brush them aside, they'll still be there next week.
Without a doubt. It's no good sticking your head in the sand, as they say.
Exactly. Face your problems head on and make the most of what is given to you and what opportunities are present for you. So I want to say hello and welcome to everybody out there. Flavrz, Ian Thomas, William Dobson, Vapor Queen Becky, Pam Spraggins, Dusty Country Road, Free Ride Vapor. Thank you for coming to the live stream once again. Today's retro build is the Serpent Elevate by Wotofo. And see if you all recognize this one. Rincoe Mechman Nano. It's a 90 watt RDA kit.
I'm still amazed where he finds all this stuff, mate. Listen,
the good old days are the good old days for a reason, man. There were dozens of websites you can go to, not just dozens of websites here in the United States and dozens of websites in the UK, but there were dozens of Chinese websites.
Oh, wide, yeah.
Which have all dwindled away into nothing, or practically nothing. All you have left are the diehard cowboys that are out there vilifying vaping and defying the laws that are passed to make it harder and harder to keep selling these things online.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And
just like how they took down Al Capone, they're doing the same thing with vaping. It's all on taxes.
Yeah.
If your town collects taxes, an online shop is required to collect that tax and pay it to your town. How many towns are around the globe? How many towns are just in the United States? How many towns are just in the state of Pennsylvania?
I wouldn't like to guess.
They're making it impossible for people to be fully compliant with the law. They're literally doing the opposite of what we wanted regulation to do to the vaping industry.
Without a doubt. Well, as they say, rules were made to be broken.
Listen, I was always a straight shooter and, did things by the book. Especially as a paramedic, you don't have a choice. You've got your certain protocols you had to follow, and that you can't deviate from that.
Oh, no.
Unless you have a valid reason that you have to call the doctor and confirm it with them to say, listen, this is why I'm going to do things different than the protocol.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a couple situations where I've been in that particular spot, and the doctor was quite impressed with what I chose to do and said, well, you obviously know what you're talking about, so do what you need to do.
Yeah,
I said, okay, well, once I do this is going to fix their problem. So how about if I just, after I get done doing this, I go back and service and turn it over to the ambulance crew that showed up. And they're like, no. What you're doing, you're going to need to explain to the doctor when you get to the hospital why you did it and what the results are, and show him what's coming out of that person.
Well, it's using your initiative as well, isn't it? That's like I say, you've got to make a lot of on-the-spot decisions in that kind of work environment. So, it is what it is. You've just got to, if somebody's lying there dying, you're going to do your best to make sure they live, regardless, whatever you do. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Sometimes you've just got to bend the rules a little bit to make somebody's life a bit easier, I suppose. You know what I mean?
Well, believe me, that sinks home when it comes to vaping. Look at all the regulations and all the stuff out there. It's the exact opposite. When it started out, when it was first introduced and you had that ridiculous Sig-alike with the sealed cartridges and people had to order them straight from China, and then they would, the cartomizers, and they would pop the cartomizers so they could, redo the coils, and then so they could fill them up with fluid again. Well, guess what? Some people, that's the only way they're going to be able to continue to vape nowadays. You're going to have to get yourself a rebuildable. You're going to have to make your own coils. You're going to have to re-wick it, which is a part of, using a rebuildable. But you're also going to have to make your own e-liquid. It's not rocket science.
It's getting that way, isn't it, if you want to keep doing it?
But the barriers to entry have gotten so high that the average smoker is going to say, forget you. I'm going to keep paying my $10, $15 a pack of cigarettes.
Without a doubt.
I know my brother-in-law refuses to give up smoking. Handed him a vape. He's like, oh, how do you do that? Well,
easy, my friend, very easy.
Yeah.
It's just like when you started smoking, you were coughing your nuts up, but you stopped, didn't you, once you got used to it?
Didn't blink twice at it.
Same thing.
You turned green with your first cigar.
I still do cut me bollocks off now and then on these, but what the hell?
What are you vaping on there?
Ooh.
Let me see what you got there.
I've got what's left of
the Elder King. Yeah.
In the setup I've got it in, there's the G Class 2 with the Arbiter 2.
I recognize that tank.
Yeah. I've still got this little fella going, the little X-Lim.
Nice.
I've still got some yellow mess in.
I lost mine.
I've still got this little drag. What do you call it again? I've lost the flipping plot. The little drag. The Drag X, sorry. I've still got that going. That has also got some of that in. Surprise, surprise. I've got me pretty much off last week, the Paranormal with the Valhalla Mini on. Also, with that in. And I don't know where this has come from. I think it's just, I don't know who's bought it, but I've got a little cherry fucking elf bar lying on my table, like a cherry cola. I don't know whose it is, but it's appeared, so there you go. But as you may have gathered, I'm quite enjoying the old the Elder there.
That's awesome. I was looking at it. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Does he have a Maxis Max? Is that what he's vaping on over there? Because I looked at the top of that for the drag, and it's got the same basic type of pod on it.
Drag X. Well, these are the let's shall we say accessories that you've got to buy. These ones, you know what I mean? Accessorized tanks, not the 2ml that came with it, shall we say?
Well, in this particular one, the Freemax Maxis Max, I've got Flavrz gum in here, bubble gum. Delicious. I finished off my third 60ml bottle of gingerbread. And since the holidays are beyond us, I moved on to candy cane.
Oh, again, there's a surprise.
So I got another Arbiter tank out. New set of wicks in here.
Are you on the Arbiter 2 as well, or is that the one?
That's the one.
Yeah, is that the one you like best? Don't you like that one better than the first?
I do. I like the airflow more on this one because the other one's a little more restrictive.
Yeah. Awesome.
And I didn't even turn on the fan or the light today. I'm like, why do I have all these clouds starting to fill up the room? And then I have my X-Slim C with watermelon in it.
Watermelon.
Delicious. I do have the X-Slim SQ here. And when I got this package sent to me, I got coils to go with it.
Oh, wow. That's
so,
all right.
This is going to go into a package. It's going to be a box that I'm going to put stuff in, and it's just going to disappear, you know.
Like everything else.
I'm not going to be able to give you more details on it on live stream, but I think you get the gist of the message. I mean, there's plenty of other people out there doing the same thing, so we're going to put together a little care package for one of you lucky contestants out there. Unfortunately, with all the holiday festivities going on, I did not have a chance to finish up the Discord server, so that will be happening this week. The only thing that's left basically for me to do, besides fixing Kenny's thing, I can't test it until he uploads a new video, is put the rules into play so that, you know, you have to click the abide by the common sense rules, be nice to each other, don't do anything that's against the law, all that kind of happy jazz.
All that kind of stuff.
But once I implement that, we'll put the link out there for you guys to join a Discord server. Since YouTube doesn't allow these contests to be conducted on the platform, we're going to transfer it over to there, and we'll be able to send somebody a nice little after the holidays package. Pre-Valentine's Day.
I think Vic calls it a box away, doesn't he?
Yeah. But to show my love for all of you guys that come in here and show up week after week after week, least I can do is take some of the obvious excessive items I have in my studio and rehome them to somebody that can appreciate them as much as I do.
Exactly.
Dick Faddens, hello and welcome.
Hi, Dick. A contest, he's saying. Well, maybe
It's not a contest because you're not allowed to run contests on YouTube.
Yeah,
It's
probably
a care package for those that love not
Yeah.
smoking as much as I do. Speaking of which, I found somebody else that is quite aware of how much better smoking versus vaping is. And you're never going to guess who it is. Listen carefully now.
E-cigarettes are less toxic than cigarettes.
Any idea who that might be?
E-cigarettes have this great potential for harm reduction and to keep people from smoking cigarettes.
What?
The current incarnation of the e-cigarette was not invented by one of the major tobacco companies. It was invented in China.
Oh my!
I think it's fair to say that an e-cigarette user, puff for puff, is getting less carcinogens than a smoker.
Oh,
I'm going to need a drink if this keeps up any longer.
Why are people using them? Well, the most common reason cited in surveys among adults is that they're a safer alternative to cigarettes.
The man knows what he's talking about, right? He just likes to put merchants of doubt type extensions onto these statements.
There are some people who e-cigarettes help them quit, and just based on all the personal testimonials, I'm sure that's true.
There you go. Very easy to understand how this is better for you than smoking.
Was that just me, folks? Or did you see Hunky not even move his lips there?
That was him right there.
Oh, he's playing the chase, hiding.
Yeah. I actually could have made his lips move, but it was one of those things that just ran out of time.
Wow.
Sean Leisure, hello and welcome to the stream. Another fantastic day for mixing and chilling and not smoking.
Yeah, guys. Anyway, I hope you all had a fantastic new year. And like I say, it's pretty much back to normal here. I think a lot of people went back to work today and everybody's and all sad and depressed. But all
Will's
good things.
Cookie Custard. I forgot to mention Will's Cookie Custard and the Freemax Marvas.
Oh, yes.
My little blingy blingy. All right, time for us to move on. Time to do some advocacy. It's been a while since we've done that.
Oh, yes.
This is Dr. Colin Mendelson's website. You all recognize him?
Oh,
And
yeah.
he put up a page on his website asking people to make submissions to the Therapeutic Goods Administration for their consultation on nicotine vaping products. We talked about how there's MPs out there that are challenging the ridiculous prohibitive prescription model as an utter complete failure and the rapid growth of the black market. Well, now you have an opportunity to actually submit your testimony to this council, to this inquisition. And you can actually click on the link here and read Dr. Mendelson's submission that he just updated today. And if you're not in Australia, join CASA. Costs nothing. Click Become a Member right on their homepage, and you can be alerted to when ridiculous laws are coming your way in your town, in your state. And if you find out something that isn't on their website, you can tell them about it so you can get the word out and get us to actually show up in mass to support these laws that are actually going to benefit us, and not the laws that are going to be hurting us and make our life even more complicated. That's it. Short, sweet, to the point. Become an advocate out there. Fight for your right to not smoke.
I'm just having to go with this excuse. I'm just having, I mean, I've never had an elf bar before, and this is like a cherry cola. I'm just going to give it a go. Quite nice, actually. Very potent in the flavour.
I can't believe how good these disposables have gotten.
Oh, it's
if this
quite
was
good.
available whenever I tried to quit smoking, I would have been able to probably quit with this. I wouldn't have been happy with it. I would have ended up in a vape shop, and I would have ended up buying something like this. But this would have been enough for me to go, I don't need to keep smoking.
Well, that's pretty much doing exactly what it says on the tin. It is a cherry cola, and you can get it. It's there. It's straight away. No muteness, nothing. It's straight in. Wow, man, I'm quite impressed with that.
Love them or hate them, disposables nail the flavor profile that they put on the box.
I think the nicotine level's a little bit high for me, like, so I'm just taking small.
Yeah, but you know what? When you have to go out and about and be out in public, it makes hardly any vapor whatsoever, and it'll get you through your whole day. It may not be the way you normally vape. You may not enjoy the fact that it's a little higher nic than normal, but because it's higher, you don't need to use it as much.
There you go. There's a question for yourself and the guys in chat. Have you ever had anybody complaining when you've been vaping? Has anybody come up to you and went, "Whoa, what's that?" Or have they? Any of you's ever had that? Because I've got a story to tell you. I went to a shopping centre and I sat there and I thought I'll have a couple of chuffs. And what I'd done, I'd closed the windows up and I didn't realise, so I chuffed it and the car kind of got very full. So I cracked the window open and one of the security guards come over with a fire extinguisher in his hand.
Oh my goodness.
He actually thought my car was on fire. I went, "No, mate, just a vape."
William Dobson says, vaping heat, did you hear about Marks and Spencer are going to stop selling disposables?
No, I did not. I wasn't even aware they sell them, to be honest with you, because, you know, Marks and Spencer's is a very posh store, isn't it, over here? You know what I mean? I wasn't even aware they sold them, to be honest with you, bud. Absolutely unaware of it. I
personally like how you go into a pharmacy and behind the cash register is a whole wall of cigarettes.
Not here.
So when you stop in for your COPD medication, you can pick up a pack of cigarettes to make sure that you don't get any better, and then, you know, keep spending the money at the pharmacy.
I mean, we've only just started calling them pharmacies recently. I mean, in my time, it was a chemist. You always went to the chemist for your script. Now they're pharmacies.
Yeah, down under is the same thing.
Mm-hmm. But
around here, the only time that they ever referred to them as chemists are when they had to go and get a compound medication made up specifically for you.
Mm-hmm.
Something that they don't normally dispense on its own. They dispense two things and they have to blend them together to give you a custom.
On the premises, yeah. But yeah, our pharmacies have cigarettes being no, they'll be prosecuted. Simple as that.
Flavrz says that the disposables had to come up with some standard of flavor to survive. They are smart with their business models.
Oh, they are absolutely really. They're geniuses. They've seen a market, they've grabbed with both hands, and they're making a killing. You know
well, they're
I mean?
also reacting to the legislation that is happening all around the globe. They're not dumb. Why are you going to invest the R&D that's going to take for you to develop the next mod and the next tank to make it better than the previous generation of tanks when you can just come up with something like this? The R&D on something like this is much less than it is on a full-size, starter kit that we refer to.
I mean, it's clever marketing by a long shot. Like I say, it's especially like with the EU and the UK with the TPD stuff. They've jumped right on the gravy train with that one. And they're very successful. And it's not just, it's not just like UK companies, there's Chinese companies, American companies. There's lots of companies that's dove into it. There's not just one particular brand, make, model, whatever. There's absolute. Yourself. There's millions of brands of disposables out there now. You're spoiled for choice. I think there's a new one just come out. My daughter's seen a friend. They've got these crystal ones now. Apparently, they're like in a clear. They're pretty much like that. But they've got like a clear plastic outer casing on them or something, and the flavour of them is supposed to be even better. But I think they're about £8 each. They're a bit more expensive, but obviously the extra plastic on it, then obviously there's going to be a cost to pay, isn't it? But they reckon that the new, shall we say, craze that's going around, these new crystal ones.
Yeah, well, be glad that they're only £8, because if you were to walk into a vape shop around here, something like this would cost you $25.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Well, don't forget the state of Pennsylvania has a 40% wholesale price tax on all vape products.
But them are now for a fact they're $5.99. They're £6, and it's a 600 puff. So now for a fact they are £6.
Well, see, the thing is, the disposables come out and they say, okay, well, this will give you a week's worth of use for the price of 2 packs of smokes. That's their marketing model.
I would say with a 600 puff on it, I mean, that personally for me, like I say, a 2% nicotine would last me well over a week, because I wouldn't be vaping it that much. There's just too much nicotine in. But what average, like I say, 4 or 5 days with one on an average vapor. If you're a heavy vapor or a chainer, you'll last you a couple of days, obviously.
Yeah. Well, here you got, 5,000-6,000 puff ones designed to last you a whole week.
Yeah. They're totally illegal. I think that's another thing, like you say, once our government does get round to this TPD bullshit, when they do get round of it, that's another issue that probably a lot of people are going for as well. Why the 600 with the 800 ones, but it's purely, it's not so much the amount of puffs, it's the amount of juice in them, because obviously there's more than 2 ml in the 6,000. So we'll get them tank capacities raised a bit from the 2 ml, we should be okay.
Yeah, because you're basically limiting it to 40 milligrams of liquid. Yeah. You got 2 milliliter in there, and it's max 20 milligram per milliliter, so you're limited to 40 milligrams per device.
So they don't last a great deal of time. Like you say, the big
and that's horrible for the environment. It's horrible for, the fact that these batteries are just completely wasted. Because you know that there's way more battery life in these things if they were rechargeable than the fluid that's in them and the coils.
It's not just that. I mean, I think I've touched on it before. There's this thing, disposing them's a grey area. There's you can't hide them in a normal recycle bin because they've got batteries in them. And you can't hide them in a battery disposable bank because they've got plastic casings on them. So it's a massive grey area, and I think that's one of the downsides for these things. You see a lot of them lying out in the streets where people just wear shite, I'm just going to throw it away, and they do. And
China's pretty smart about this stuff too, because Vaporesso and a couple of the other manufacturers have already started recycling programs. They're opening it up in Europe, where people are more concerned about that kind of thing, and they're basically going to the vape shops and saying, listen, you collect the stuff, and when we send you something, you send us back the old ones, and we'll pay you for the cost of sending it to us. And
it's so simple. It's not rocket science. Like I say, 90% or more of it is recyclable, if not more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the board and everything in here is completely recyclable. Huh? And you could test the battery to see if it's good for another use cycle. Put it back into the stream, and then once it goes bad, then the lithium can be recaptured and reformulated into recycled batteries.
It's not rocket science, is it?
No.
I just think
very simple.
I think it's money. Costs so much money. I mean,
yeah, the world revolves around money.
Yeah.
And just like we saw in our introductory video, the states are raking in the cash, but have spent less than 0.4% of what they've taken in tobacco money, in taxes, and in MSA payments to actually use it what it was originally designed to be used for, which is, youth prevention and smoking cessation programs. And
yeah, I'll tell you where it went. Hang on, Governor, such and such. There you go. Big fat wallet. Thank you very much. That's where it went.
Depending on the state you're going to, I know like California is really bad because they've taken that tobacco money and they've used it to pay for new bridges and repaving their highways and stuff.
So what? I mean, the last I heard with that, the MSA, right? I thought that the bonds were due. Was it last year to be repaid, and everybody was struggling and panicking over it, saying that they could be going bust these states. Is it still the same, or they paid their way, or have they
robbed Peter to pay Paul? That's all.
Sorry,
they robbed Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah, see,
That's all they ever do. They're not going to admit that they screwed up and they gambled the wrong way. They gambled against the public, giving up smoking so they could, pay for this new pet project that one politician put into effect to help the residents of their constituency.
Yeah. Basically, they spent money before they had it, didn't they? Pretty much.
And, like Dick Fattens points out, California has prohibited all flavored tobacco. Except for the ones that might have religious implications. Shisha, perfectly allowed. You want to smoke through a hookah? You want blueberry tobacco smoked in a hookah? No problem. You can have it. You want roll your own tobacco? Because that's essentially what goes into the hookahs? No problem.
Same with alcohol. You want flavored vodka? Fine. Kids don't. Kids aren't attracted to flavored vodka. It's an adult thing. Okay, rightio.
Yeah, and you can buy them in the grocery stores, even in Pennsylvania now. Used to be just in Ohio. I used to love going to Ohio, go grocery shopping, when I was back home, because you walk into the grocery store and you want a 6-pack, you want a case of beer, you want, wine. And some of these places even have, vodka and rum and all these other ones in there.
It's fucking crazy, man, honestly.
You can go in the drugstore and pick up alcohol.
Yeah.
I love going to Drug Mart.
It's fucking crazy. It is head scratching, isn't it? You're like,
where's all these flavors? Guess what? They're in all those things as well.
Mm-hmm.
You want your Arizona iced tea? Guess what? That's not really iced tea. It's water and sugar and flavoring.
Flavorings, exactly.
Yep. And you can get alcohol in the grocery store in California too.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Whole display stands, end caps are nothing but alcohol. Kids see all those flavors and they're not attracted to those, but all of a sudden when you start talking about vape, oh my goodness, that's attracting the kids.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. Oh, right.
All right, no sense in getting all wound up into a tizzy.
Just it is what it is, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's just it is. It's frustrating at the end of the day. One rule for one, another for another, and it's just, you feel like just you're banging your head against the wall at times. But you just keep plodding on, man.
So finally, time to give a shot. Last week we mixed up some blueberry meringue. That's a one shot.
I remember that.
From Flavrz. Mixed that up last week. Got a nice little 60 ml bottle here. I just got to figure out what tank am I going to put it on. I prepped a bunch of these ones. Here we go. Our nice little UL nunchaku.
Hi, Flavrz, if you're in chat, the package still has not arrived because we're fucking postmen are back on strike again. Wow.
And the only people that benefit from that postal strike is UPS, FedEx, DHL.
Yeah. Also, our railways are back on strike again as well. I think they're on a 48-hour one at the minute. Yeah, they are 48-hour. It's fantastic over in the UK. Life couldn't be better. Oh.
Where are we ohming out here? 0.17. This thing is set at 80 watts.
Ooh, that's a bit high.
Yeah. It's a single battery. Go with 65, since that's what I do with my Arbiter.
I'll consult my little friend here. We got him 0.17.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lie.
What'd it say?
A cool vape. 76.2. Yeah, not bad. The middle of the road, 90 watts. A warm vape, 103.8. Nope.
0.17.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not laughing at you. I need to reset this. It needs recalibrating.
It's a beautiful blueberry meringue. I got the airflow about half open on this.
Well, I've got this.
That's a 76 watts.
Well, my resistance on this one's 0.19 and I'm at 76 watts and it's absolutely lovely. So I would say around the 65, 70 watt mark, you should get a good vape out of that.
Could use a little bit of sweetness for my taste.
Oh, talking of sweetener, I added 4 drops exactly. Oh my God.
Man, does it crank the flavors up in that thing?
Oh. No, I was just literally going, bollocks, I want to drink it.
They do get to be that tasty.
Oh, it's so good. The thing is, it's getting better because I mean, that's probably a week that I haven't really bashed it. That's been a week, but every time I go to it, it just tastes better and better and better. Wish I had like a liter. I just wish I had like a liter of it just sitting on the shelf there, just mellowing away. Give it time. Oh my God, in that arbiter, it is absolutely gorgeous in that arbiter. Beautiful.
I'm gonna need to put some sweetness in this thing, taste it and see what it's like. And if it isn't going to be enough flavor, then I can actually put a little bit more of the one shot into it, bump it up to, let's say, 20% concentration and give that a try to get something that's going to be comparable to a disposable. Now, compare this to, some of the other commercial juices that are out there, some of the ones that I know that aren't, overly sweet. It's right in par with all them.
Yeah, just flavors there. It's just, commented heat, unbelievable parcel force, not parcel post. So, like I say, if me and you ever do any kind of business, whatever, we're best just using a courier. Like I say, Hunky Vape sent me a parcel over the holiday period. He used a courier, and it was here within a week. So it says there's your difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he sent the last 2 packages via just regular mail, express mail. And I mean, they were here within a matter of days.
It's just like I say, the UK at the moment with all these industrial disputes, the vape, the postal services, the National Health Service, the rail service, and whatever else there is going to be, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, in this country, they've been cutting back post offices left and right too. Matter of fact, I was just telling you, when I went to send your package, I had priced everything out ahead of time and was going to send it via the post office. And then when I went to actually go mail the package, once I figured out the weight and boxed it all up, I'm like, wait a minute, why did it jump? It's almost double what it was originally when I was looking at it. I'm like, it was originally going to be like $60 to send you this box. Now they wanted like $100.
Yeah.
$120 depending on how I sent it. I'm like, why would I send it on the express mail when I can do overnight for $10 more? Once you hit it, it's like 10% more.
I mean, don't get us wrong, normally they're pretty good, our postal service is pretty okay, but like say with everything going on, I mean, those guys from courier services drop stuff off to us, and they're sitting there saying that their warehouses have got anything from 30,000 to 60,000 parcels sitting in their warehouses that they just can't get out. You know, they're flat out trying to get these deliveries out just because of this Royal Mail carry on. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy.
The care package that I'm going to be putting together is going to have some 30 ml bottles of these Flavrz concentrates that I've had. This is one of the original packages that he sent me, and I've used some of it in there. But his original package, he sent like 2, 4, 6, 7 of those massive bottles. So I'm going to be decantering them into little 30 ml bottles. We're going to do multiple, packages, care packages for people. Get these Flavrz in other people's hands and let them try it out firsthand and, get their impression on things.
I mean, this is it. If we, I think it's a good thing. If we do get sent stuff kindly by, likes of Flavrz, etc., or we're looking to get sponsors and that and the send stuff. That can be passed on to you guys as well. You know what I mean? It's a win-win situation for everybody. You know what I mean? It's so it's not all about. Some people say you get on the free shit train. It's not all about that, man. It's you share it.
Nothing here is free.
Yeah.
Everything was purchased with my own dollars. However, I certainly don't need all of it. I've got more than enough to vape for the rest of my life. So when somebody does send me something, it has zero value, intrinsic value to me, because I've already got everything that I need to keep vaping the rest of my life.
Passed on, exactly. So
that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start passing this stuff on to you guys, because there's really no point in me, hold on to it. Now, granted, there are some things that are nostalgic, like the first one that I ever got sent to me. That's never going to go away. And I truly appreciate Freemax doing that and sending me that. And the ones that I picked up, like this one, that's never going to go away, because this was Fog Vapory, Fairview Park, Ohio. I picked that up in the clearance bin over there, and I really appreciate, his kindness and generosity, and give me a little bit of a peek behind the curtain into the vaping scene in Cleveland.
Yeah.
He knows a lot of the players that are out there and stuff like that, and got to learn a lot about how vicious small businesses can be sometimes.
Oh, wow, yeah. Crazy.
And the big players didn't get that way by being a nice guy.
Oh, no. It's a dog-eat-dog world, isn't it?
Dog-eat-dog world. They made deals with the politicians in town to give them an exemption, a grandfather clause. So they passed new ordinances that you're not allowed to open up any more vape shops in town because we got too many of them already. So we're going to help protect the kids by not opening any more. But all the existing companies, they're all grandfathered in. So if they want to sell this building and open up a new store twice the size, well, they're grandfathered in for that particular purpose.
Exactly. Oh, yes.
Awesome sauce. Blueberry meringue. Very simple flavor combination. Not so simple to make your own, because the flavorings are so different. I still can't get over how Miyogi's Pine Orange Popsicle is completely ruined by swapping out Capella Golden Pineapple for Purellum Golden Pineapple. Totally ruined the recipe.
Yeah, you mentioned that just for the sake of a different brand of the flavor. The change was so great.
Yeah, because you don't know actually what the formulation is in that golden pineapple. What is that golden pineapple using for sweetener compared to what Capella uses as their sweetener?
Definitely.
And
it's just weird, though. I mean, it's just at the end of the day, like a flavoring or a sweetening, it's they're all probably similar to a certain extent. How using a different brand can change a recipe so drastically, not minimally, drastically.
It drastically changed it. I mean, it went from a nice, beautiful palette of orange and pineapple, and you just get this lovely flavor in your mouth that's distinct to something that's just a muddled mess.
Weird,
It
isn't
has half the flavor, if any, depending on what tank you put it in.
Weird,
So-
man, isn't it? Absolutely weird.
When you're making your own, make sure you single flavor test everything and learn how flavors react with each other.
William Dobson's got his hog out. 0.6 ohm coil on the Nightmare 28mm. Lovely.
Yeah.
Chucking clouds, bro.
And Flavor Concentrate says that we like to run them a little on the underside of sweetener due to not everyone likes things over sweet. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Because just like a lot of the recipes out there, people don't add the sweetener into the recipe for the simple sake of it's up to you. You know how much flavoring and sweetness you normally like to crank your volume up to. So
So there's the following comment on flavors there. You going for the more hair look on your face, LMO? I am.
he
Requesting
liked my
children.
Santa Claus look and
Yeah.
Mallory Gates' reaction so much to me looking like Santa Claus that he wants to be able to get that reaction next year.
I'm going to have some auditions next year to be a Santa Claus, so I thought I'd better start now. 'Cause it'll be the same colours. It'll be white. I can guarantee it, but we'll see.
I've
If
heard a
I've
lot of people
never-
say, look at all the vape reviewers out there that, end up getting big. They all have beards.
It's when you dribble the flavour, you go,
Flavor saver.
No, just something I've never, ever done in my life. So I thought, well, put it on the bucket list, give it a go. Because normally when I've tried, I get to a certain stage and I just want to rip my face off. And then I just say, it's coming off. So at the minute, I'm grinning and bearing it. I think I'm getting past it now. So hopefully.
Yeah, for me this time, when I grew it out this time, I didn't have any of that. I had the goatee first. And then when I decided to fill it in the whole way, it was like, I didn't even have that stage. Maybe one day of it.
Oh, I think it's just
Got
going
a
to
shower,
start.
put some beard oil on it, and it
think
wasn't
once
itchy anymore.
Once it's popped through, it's through. That's it. There's none of the scrapping and scripting, is there? So we'll get we'll get some nice oil on it.
Come over.
Come over.
My
Jesus.
dad had the horseshoe baldness, so.
I'm sorry, but there you go, guys. I have got a muck. what they call a-
R3Con21. Hello and welcome. Amazing beard.
I've got what they call the monk's cap. There you go. Ah.
Listen, that's why I love these hats. And they're mesh, so you get plenty of airflow through them. So one thing I never really cared for about the ball caps is, they get so hot. Your head's actually sweating.
Yeah, well, you
These
lose
new
a lot.
mesh caps, I love them.
Yeah, you lose most of your body heat through your head, apparently. So there you go.
Yeah. And this is a perfect balance. All right,
Then-
so how about we jump forward and actually do something else? We did our
Ooh.
wonderful review of the blueberry meringue.
So that's a good one. Yeah, you like that, yeah?
Yeah. Delicious. Like I said, I could turn the flavor percentage up some more because it's not quite as punchy as I would like it to be. But that's a simple thing to do with a one shot. You just add a little more of the one shot into it, make it a little more concentrated, and it could use a touch of sweetness because I didn't put any sweetness in it. I just literally mixed it straight
Straight out of the
730.
box. Yeah.
Like this bubble gum. Delicious.
William Dobson. When it's a dry hit on a mesh. Oh, you don't want a dry hit on a mesh. Oh my God. That's what put me off them. I very rarely use them.
Mrs. Hunky Vape's in the house. Legit. You got a day off today?
Mrs. H is in the house.
Mm-hmm. All right. Time for us to move forward. What do you want to do first?
What we
Want to
got?
do the Mechman Nano
Oh God, yeah.
or the Serpent Elevate?
No, Mechman. Come on, Mechman.
All right.
Mechman, come on, stop messing about. Come on, do the Mechman.
All right. Now I got to make sure that there's no
Yes.
links on this thing.
Just make sure there's
So there's
no.
your box.
That's not the Mechman, that's a Serpent.
Oh, I didn't think you were going to notice.
Come on. I might look it, but I'm not. Really, I'm not.
There you go.
I think he done that deliberately on purpose, just to test what. Now we're talking.
I wanted to see if you have Alzheimer's too.
I have. It's a delayed reaction.
Oh, nothing like opening up a vape package to find an advertisement for another vape device.
Now I'm looking at that thing, and I'm sure you had a Serpent in his hand a minute ago, so there you go.
Yeah, so they throw in an advertisement for the Manto Pro.
Oh, well, there you go.
But that's not what we're doing today. We're doing the Mechman Nano. And I love seeing battery safety warnings put into these packages. Very important. Any nicks, burrs, or tears in your package, in your batteries, make sure that you rewrap them. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, stop by your local vape shop and they will be happy to take care of you. Battery safety is very important.
Also, kind of check your batteries, because if you find that you're starting to charge them more regularly, it means that they're probably past that sell-by date, shall we say.
Yep, they're better for flashlights than they are for your vape device, because we use high output batteries in these devices.
That looks
so we
nice.
have our nice black
That looks really
plastic
nice.
mod.
But it looks nice, you know what I mean? It's not just a... yeah, it's interesting.
And comes with a nice dripper.
Ooh.
Simple airflow.
Little two-post
And
deck.
it's adjustable.
Cyclops. Is it Cyclops hole? Yeah. Yeah, it's a Cyclops hole. God, you didn't see many of them now, do you?
No. And included in the package, you get a USB, micro USB charging cable, another tiny screwdriver, some spare O-rings, some spare grub screws,
The blue screw.
no coil.
I'm kind of guessing the world record for who's got the most of them blue screwdrivers. Must be somebody sitting with thousands of them.
I don't know. I haven't seen anybody besides Addy Tooney show off his collection of it, but he had a drawer. No kidding.
Oh.
It was this wide. And it was half full of just blue screwdrivers.
Jesus Christ, man. Does anybody actually use them?
Well, if you first get into vaping, I could see why you would. If you don't have, little screwdrivers and specialty tools, eventually you end up, buying a decent one. So we have a single battery, 90 watt max output. They didn't do a very good job marking them. We could have put a little bit of paint in it.
Yeah. Yeah, while everybody's on that subject, I'll wish your better half a very happy new year as well. Mrs. H.
No display. Simple mechanical device.
Just a flashy X.
Yep.
X marks the spot. Literally. William Dobson just said he's got that device and it's still in the box as well. There you can. You're not the only one then who finds these things.
What are we going to throw on here?
Ooh.
0.33. And go with our trusty Wotofo set, an I-80.
Are you going to go single or dual?
Dual.
Dual? Hey, I don't mind them coils, man. The Wotofos, they're all right.
They've worked really good.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad that is now empty.
Do you ever buy any coils from handmade guys? You know, do you ever deal with any of them guys?
I've bought handmade coils in a vape shop, but not from an actual coil builder.
I've done some. Oh, what was his name again? Christ, I forgot his name. It was like in the world of Facebook. He used to do like have his little business page on Facebook, and he used to do all the coils. You'd send your specs or tell him what it was for, or what kind of vape you liked, and he made the coils to your spec. And I think I've still got that. I've got some somewhere. He made me some series coils for the Hug. I think they're still in. They're them 13 wrap ones. They're off him, and they're absolutely amazing coils. Like brilliant. And he wasn't all that expensive either, really. Everybody thinks like a handmade coil is going to cost you a fortune. Not really, because most of them will do you like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 pair of coils for a reasonable price. You know what I mean? But you can tell you can't tell the quality difference. Like I'll give, you just can.
So I put the coil in there and then snipped them off to where I think it was going to be nice, and then we put them in our coily measure or coily tool so that we can determine how far to cut the next one. So we're looking at 6.5, maybe 7 millimeters.
Ooh.
7, I can touch them both. So we'll prep this one, and it's a space coil because of how far apart these posts are.
They look pretty wide, like, don't they?
Yes, they are quite wide.
The shared post decks can be a pain in the butt to build on, by the way, folks. Trying to hold two.
Try and put an even spacing between these.
Yeah, man, looking good. They are wide, aren't they? Gee, me. Beauty with space coils, like, they don't take much to burn in. You just, you probably get probably zero hot spots with it because they're not touching nothing. So that's the beauty of space coils.
All right, now we'll take one from one side and we'll use our lovely screwdriver.
Yeah. Don't use your screwdriver for screwing your screws. Just use it to put your coils on when you place. Unless you've got a 3 milli screwdriver, you're laughing.
Yeah.
Yes, Ian, I do agree. Handmade coils, they are much better than your mass-produced ones. They last longer. You're 100% right. Yeah, they cost a little bit more than your run-of-the-mill stuff, but it's money well spent. They last longer, and if they're good quality coils, the flavour of them and everything's fantastic. So don't be shy, guys, to go and try some people's coils out. It's worth trying. Or if you're confident, have a go at making them yourself. There's a challenge.
It's not even about confidence. It's about, the little bit of time and dedication. You can learn how to make your own.
Patience is a very big one. Trust us.
Came out at 0.16.
It might drop down a bit when you burn it in.
Nice.
So I mean, straight to the glow, no hot spots. That's the beauty about space.
Beauty about this case, you have coils. Well, these ones are non-ferrous. How you like that?
Non-ferrous. Ooh. Holy moly.
Put the tools back in the corner. Very simple build.
Yeah, Ian, you're right with that one. Far more benefit to handmade coils and fancy cotton. Again, subjective. That's the thing with vaping. There's quite a lot of it is subjective, you know.
Yeah, I've done multiple things. Have you had a chance to try out the cotton I sent you? The
Not
organic
yet,
Muji
sir.
cotton.
Not yet, sir. It's still sitting
It's a
there.
good cotton. I don't mind the cotton. You know,
To be honest, I mainly use it for my drippers, and I haven't really had to re-wick a dripper as yet because all my drippers are like sitting there nice and clean and out in them, so I need to put coils in them as well. So I'll give it a bash.
my
I've got
issue with
this-
them is trying to get two of them that are identical.
I'll give it a bash for this one. When I change this one on my little Valhalla Mini, I mean, I'll use it when I change them out.
I'll use them now since we got them out.
William, you could be right there. It might have been proper coils on Facebook. I don't know if he's still going. I know he took a bit of time out because I believe he works for the NHS, whether he's a nurse or whatever. And obviously when the pandemic kicked off, he was snowed under with work, but so I don't know if he's still going. I would imagine he will be, like, 'cause he was very popular.
Too loose. Not enough tension.
It could have been that William, proper coils, but I'm 90% certain it was.
That's the one advantage I have found with these. You get a 50 pack of these. It's like $11. Pick them up on Amazon. But they're a true 3mm.
I've got a suggestion.
Aye.
Why don't you use one as a template when you tear a piece of cotton off your Muji?
It has to do with the density. This isn't as dense. It's a lot more fluffy, like a pillow.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Versus this is a much denser cotton.
Yeah.
So if you look at size-wise, it's like, you know, it wasn't compressed or run through the machine enough. Which, I mean, it works great, but you got to pluck out the right amount. And here you got something that's already got the aglets on the end. Makes it easier for you to pull through. You can clearly see on the coil, it's got the right tension in there. It's moving all of them all the way through it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to get exact, you know, but it could be like a rough idea, and then you think, well, I'm somewhere near, you know what I mean? It's trial and error, isn't it?
I mean, it's good. It vapes great. It doesn't color the flavor of your vape at all. It's just a matter of how fiddly do you like your build. If you like to fiddle with them, then so be it.
Finicky. Finicky's the word. Finicky.
And like put these coils low without checking to see the height of the airflow. So raise
Does the
them up.
airflow, is the airflow off the cap in the side, or does it angle down?
It's straight through.
So they need to be sitting high. Oh, that's brilliant. See, rely on Ian again. Ian Thomas says his proper coils. John had issues with his payment system provider. Because I think PayPal knocked it all on the head, didn't they? The vaping, with vaping,
Put the vape label on him and says, sorry, you can't use us.
I think that, so he sorted, and he's certainly still going. He was voted second best builder in the EC Click Awards. That's brilliant. I'm glad he's still gone. That's awesome. He is a damn good builder. I'll give him his dues. He's fantastic.
It takes a lot of work, to actually produce good coils.
Like I said, I knew he was working for the NHS as well, so I was thinking, how the hell do you get time to build them? You know what I mean? It's crazy, but he does it. I'm pleased he's still going.
Once you get a system in place and you set up your workspace, it's not any different than just doing this.
Yeah.
You understand the fundamentals of it.
I've had a go of it before. I've done some dual
There's a little too much cotton in there.
They've come out reasonably well. They were vapeable, so I can't complain. They weren't looking their best, but they vaped. I think I've still got wire left. I might give it a go again. I've still got a bit of wire lying about. I'm sure I have.
It's all about developing your workspace. Like even the Diadalis. Making the Diadalis is supposed to make it very easy for anybody to be able to build your own coils. Yeah. But if you try to do that on this mouse pad, forget it. Because you need to have a certain amount of tension, and the tension needs to remain stable as the box or the chuck on the end moves away from the head, the drill head. So
there's Ian Thomas there again. He knocks out a set of aliens in around half an hour, but he couldn't do it and make any money. Well, it's getting the time to do it. If you're going to do it as a business or whatever, you need to put a lot of time into it.
It's also in your tools.
Yeah.
A mechanic doesn't go around with the pair of pliers and a screwdriver to fix your car.
Nope.
He's got specialty tools and specialty sockets and, attachments and universal joints for your socket.
Oh, God, aye.
Wire building's the same way. Yeah. If you have the specialty tools, you can make your wire building so much easier than those of us that are just using,
Oh, definitely.
Fishing swivels and table vise.
I've got most of the gear. I mean, it's just sitting down and actually, I think I keep putting it off, just sitting down and saying, right, you're going to do it, there's that kind of,
I came across on Facebook, actually it was a Reddit post that I read. The guy was talking about how his wife bought him a coil building kit. I forget what the actual name of it was. There's a company in Germany, and there's probably multiple people doing this nowadays, that 3D prints these swivel heads and chucks and stuff and sets it up so that you can clamp it to your desk, and it literally sets up basically a lathe. And you can actually buy his kit came with a extruded aluminum deck that everything mounted onto, and then you can just literally clamp that to your desk, or actually just use the weight of it sitting on your desk.
So it's like a fixed jig type of thing, yeah?
Yes. And the thing about it is once you have that fixed, the only thing that you need to do is put the tension on it and have the right angle. And once you get it, it's like anything else, like riding a bicycle. You didn't ride a bicycle the first time you got one.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of time and learn how to finesse it. And once you understand how to finesse it, you can sit there all day long and just hold this and crank this thing out. Here's another foot of it. Here's another foot of it.
I think with me, it wasn't so much. I had pretty much everything and thing, but going. But it was the twists on the final wire. You know that it used to twist really badly, and I used to have a mare getting the twists out.
You got the tool to fix it now.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, when you go to wrap it, if you know which way the twist is, when you wrap it, you can literally untwist it by wrapping it the right way.
Oh, yeah. That no, like, but you know, you're trying to put. I think it's like you're looking for that perfection, aren't you? I suppose, you know what I mean? Ah, that's not right. That's not right. Yeah, it looks awful. That on bin it.
Wire is cheap.
It is, but you also waste quite a lot of it in as well.
In the beginning, of course you do.
Yeah, Ian Thomas is just pretty much adding to what you've said. You know, commercial hand builders tend to have rather more space drills and kit to make things more efficient. It's so true. Sean Lynch, I've got the sky on in the background there, so yeah, it's all ready to go.
Got a match going on today.
Yeah, Newcastle's playing Arsenal tonight. Our local team is playing Arsenal. Which is going to be interesting.
That candy cane's fantastic in here.
Really?
And this thing is so light. Compared to the Jack Guru.
Is that our DRE then?
Yeah, nice stripper. Lot of airflow.
Will be with the Cyclops, like. But you can cut it down, like you say, it's adjustable, so that's not an issue.
That is fantastic in there. That candy cane.
But what did you hit in there, like? What's your resistance? What did you hit in?
It's a mech. There's no wattage adjustment.
Oh, sorry, I simply put my thing. See, that's where the dementia's starting to kick in. You see, I was sharp as a tack before. Now it's kicking in. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Alex has left the building.
Turn the ceiling fan on and my hair light. I got spoiled because Alexa.
Oh, damn it. You've set mate. Shush. Oh, sorry, it's got off.
She's getting a replacement today. A newer generation device. Because I upgraded to Wi-Fi. I went to WPA3 for the internet security. And this one's had trouble connecting to it ever since. However, no need to fear because Alexa in the other bedroom can hear me just fine. I do that many times. But she's going downstairs in my daughter's bedroom.
That's the thing we used to do, you know, in our lives. If we knew anybody had an Alexa, we used to shout down the Alexa. Set everybody's Alexas off in the house. Oh, God, shut up.
Yeah, and it's not too hard to figure out what I call the room, so.
I'm going to change its name.
I love it. It's a nice little device. Yeah, it's plastic, so I mean, if I drop this thing, I'm be afraid of, you know, breaking it, but I think it's a nice Vape Apocalypse purchase.
I mean,
simple mech device.
For what it is, you know, it's you know, it's not going to be a rugged thing, you know, it's not designed to be, is it really? So,
and it only cost me $20.
So, you know, for what it is.
For $20, you can't even buy a decent dripper for that price.
See what I mean? You see what I mean,
And
guys?
here I got a mini mech.
You see what I mean, guys and girls? Where does he find this stuff? Really, honestly.
I tell you the website, but YouTube would get mad at me, and
No,
it doesn't
no,
exist
no.
anymore. So, what's the point?
It'd be a trade secret. I need to be giving your secrets away.
I mean, I used to get stuff from 3A Vape and 3F Vape, and there used to be so many different websites that were, J Vape and L Vape and H Vape and K Vape, and
I think the cheapy one a lot of people use here is AliExpress.
I even had one that actually had an app, and whenever all the FDA stuff came into full play, USA was shut off. You could still get the app, you could still see how much things cost, but if you didn't live in Europe or the UK, it was useless. Matter of fact, it was worse than useless. It was torture. Because I'd open up the app and go, you can get Mike Vape's Recur for 12 euros? What?
Yeah. I'll have some
It
of
was
that.
torture.
In response to Sean, he's asking for a prediction. I'll be happy with a draw, mate. If we come away with a draw, I'm a happy bunny.
Well, let's get caught up with chat here.
Yeah, they're busy the night, guy. They're busy.
That's fantastic. I love it when people chat. We're all about, building a community here. Proper coils. John had issues with his payment system provider. Yep, you were talking about that earlier. And you said that he knocks out a set in about a half an hour. But he couldn't do it to make money.
He also added there, he says, nylon pliers, swivel bearing quality comes into play too. Like, obviously, you got to get good swivels. One guy saw had a geared setup, so that prevented the wire from twisting. A geared setup, Jesus. That's advanced.
Yeah, I wish I could pull up the actual place that actually makes this jig, but they literally sell the motor and they sell all these 3D printed things that have professional bearings set up in them, and then you can attach a fishing swivel to the end of it just as a fail safe in case the actual bearing itself goes bad.
That is a big part of it. Is you've got to use good quality swivels with good bearings on. Because like you say, I've tried it with cheaper ones, and when you're spinning your drill, your swivel can't keep up. It's it's catching it, kick, it clicks. So you need a good set of swivels, like, without a doubt. Which you can probably get from any kind of fishing tackle shop, so whatever.
Common problem with all these ultra cheap drippers is the actual cap gets warm quick.
It's the heat in it.
Retains the heat. But it's delicious. There ain't nothing wrong with it.
Oh, at least
And this is just the black one. Nice simple pattern. It's nice, comfortable to hold.
It's reminding me of another mod, and I can't think of what it's reminding us of. It looks very similar to Summit.
One of these days I'll get my hands on a clutch. Mike Vapes came out with that one.
The clutch is a pretty good mod, like. Should be able to get them cheap enough now, like.
If you can find it. My V Pro's closed. Well, technically not yet. When they sell everything out, they'll be closed. I'll use them. I think I sent you the sticker.
Yeah.
For my V Pro.
That's
a
right,
collector's item now.
It's on my head, remember? It was on my head.
They're done. Because they don't want to take the chance of the FDA using them as their scapegoat example for all the players out there. Come after you and fine you and take your business, take your house.
Well, like I said, look what happened to Kennedy. Fantastic brand. Shut, gone.
Kind of surprised me because the way that they were doing stuff, I don't understand why they didn't keep selling, just not sell in the United States. They could have exported it. There's no laws preventing you from exporting it.
I think, well, obviously, I think Bogan done it, the guided tour of that machine shop, all CNC lathe stuff where they would churn them out. So maybe, like I say, he's probably not shut as a business. He's probably just machining different parts for different industries, whatever, not just doing the, the vape and stuff anymore, which is a shame.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes I wish I had a little manual lathe. I mean, I would love to have a go just knocking a mech up. Just a tubular one. My turner by trade would be brilliant. Love to have a go with it. That's what I was thinking of, Ian. He says that's now I've seen how it reminds us of another mod. It reminds us of the Tesla. It's not the Invader 4, what I've got. Just wonder that's what I'm thinking. Holy shit, that's cool. Oh, it's a bench lathe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, man.
7-inch by 10-inch precision benchtop mini lathe.
Oh, wow. Oh, I'll be well at home on that.
So I said, if you had a Harbor Freight, you'd be able to go and pick one of these up.
You probably need one with the milling head. I've seen them with the milling heads on as well, but they're pretty expensive. Yeah, man. Fucking hell. That reminds me when my apprentice days, that little thing, man.
There's a little benchtop one.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the price of them. Woo!
Then if you want a full-size one.
You know what it is? Sometimes you can, obviously you've got to have room, but you can get them in machine auctions, where like companies that went bankrupt and stuff and they're selling all that stuff
sure.
off. You can get them dirt cheap in them places. With old manual milling machine. God, you remind me of my apprentice days there, la.
Pack of carbide tips, $16.
Yeah, man. Awesome. See, we used to grind when I started. We used to grind our own out of a blank lump of carbide. You used to grind your own. You used to make them up yourself. Many years ago. Show me age.
Yeah, there you go. $170 for a 300-piece socket set, mechanics tool set.
Wow. Still pretty good.
It's not Craftsman, but you know what? I mean, it works great.
I've got one of them trolleys in my garage. Mine's black.
I was going to mix up a Flavrz recipe using just the ingredients that I have back here, but I cannot find the recipe. I saw that it was on there, but the problem was there was 2 flavors that I didn't have the actual one, but in the notes he put in there that you can substitute out TFA for it or whatnot, and I don't remember what the actual recipe was. I was going to make it today. But I do not know which one of these ones it was. It was one of those ones I got a notification in my email from eLiquid Recipes that Flavrz published the recipe, and I saw it, and I'm like, oh, I can make that. I got everything for it. But because the original recipe was created using his flavors instead of what the alternates are, it won't show up in the search. I spent, 20 minutes going through these recipes trying to find out which one it was, and I can't find it.
I've been meaning to look at some of the recipes with obviously them, them little sample flavors bottles you sent over there with your package. I've been meaning to have a look to see if I can use them in anything.
We don't have vape mail today because guess what? I already opened it up and I put it into my flavor stash and I reorganized my flavors. So I've got Capella here, I got Flavrz, I got TFA, then there's Flavor Art Wonder Flavors, and then behind me I've got the other miscellaneous ones that I have less of, like Purellum and Flavor West and Euro Flavors and all the miscellaneous ones. It was a custard, but I do not recall.
Flavors is there. What main flavor is it? Can you remember where it was?
There's a way.
Not it's still in your email.
It may be. There's a way that you can search for recipes and what you can make that you have like one missing or two missing flavors. But I didn't see it on there. We did the banana runts. That was a really good recipe. I really enjoyed that.
See, like Flavrz has commented there. He says if you can remember what the main flavor it was, he may be able to help you find it.
It was like a custard.
A custard.
It was some kind of custard.
Ooh. Now you're talking my language. You know, you've said the magic word.
Yeah, he used vanilla swirl and he used the custard and
Dinner custard.
Butterscotch maybe, and I don't even remember exactly which one it was.
Interesting. Is it not a butterscotch one? Because I'm sure I remember you mentioned something last week about doing something like that when you were hunting stuff. It was when you were hunting through something to make last week. Ooh. Pardon me.
Some of these recipes I took a look at, man, they were like 30% flavoring, and I'm like,
wow.
We have a Capella vanilla custard at 12%. That's pretty high. You get kind of a greasy sensation from it when you use strictly Capella. Custards, you could split this up, though. You could take that 12% and do 5% of vanilla custard from Capella, and then you could do a different custard from a different brand and layer the custards in there.
I was having to dig around the other day as well, Guess what I found? I thought I had none left. It's all about that bass. How's that bass? No treble. It's all about that bass. It's a 70-30 bass mix. I thought I had none left, so haha. That will be put to good use.
If you all like cappuccino, I highly recommend Miyagi's cappuccino. I've made half a dozen bottles of this stuff. I love it. It's a very, very pleasant vape. Even when you're drinking coffee all day, that's just a wonderful compliment to this.
Flavrz has commented, was it not the French custard?
It may be.
Maybe the French.
Let's take a look.
He's just come up with that one. It's French. It's Je m'appelle Custard.
Butterscotch, caramel, vanilla custard, vanilla and a swirl.
That's it. Is that the one? Because I remember you mentioning butterscotch last week. You were talking about something with butterscotch last week. I can vaguely remember it.
We're about to change this because Flavrz has sent me an awesome package of his flavors. Thank you for the Santa Claus. It's unbelievable what I'm going to be able to have here. But now I should be able to mix almost all of his recipes that he's got out there. So excited to do this. So I have the custard one shot, but I do not have the vanilla custard. What's it say I have missing? Yeah, and the caramel. I got some Capella caramel I could put in. I got other caramels I can use. Use the regular custard as a base and then maybe add some vanillin to it. We got custard on the, we got Flavrz on the live stream, so.
I love Ian Thomas. He's so good. Custard? Jacques Custard dives deep into my creamy desserts.
Ooh. You remember watching Jacques Cousteau when you were younger?
Yeah, awesome, man.
Whatever happened to the man?
The original explorer.
add banana at 6% and make the caramel 2%.
Pas français. No.
Parlez-vous français?
That's a simple answer to that one. No. Just the 2 sentences we remember from school.
All right. And we're going to take this.
Flavrz is comment there. He says, why don't you swap their vanilla custard for the best one that you think you have in your stash?
Oh, the best one that I have is the one that I haven't tried yet.
Mm.
It is... Where did you go, you little bugger?
Could that be in the miscellaneous department? Ah.
What happens when you reorganize stuff? You can't find anything.
See? You should have left it a mess, because normally it's organized chaos. Oh, Flavrz getting posh with his French now. He's rattling off in French now. Wuhan? What's that? Interesting vaping attention? Yeah. Did you ever used to, I don't know, did you ever watch that friggin' did you ever watch Allo Allo? Did you get that over there? It was the English piss take.
No, what was the name? Allo Allo.
Allo Allo. Oh, it was a comedy based in the Second World War. And the pub that Rene used to run, he was perfectly English, like, you know, but it was like a center for all the spies, and there was a police spy, like a policeman who was a spy, and his French accent was shit. It was comical. There was a burn. I will only say this once. It was fucking crazy, honestly. It was brilliant. Hello. It was very saucy as well. We had a grandma about 90 that was stuck in a bed. And the woman from the resistance, listen very carefully. I shall only say this once. It was brilliant. It was a good old-fashioned British sitcom thing. It was hilarious. But it was part of the
I was
resistance.
sure it was with like the Chemnovatic or the nature flavors, but it's not back there.
Oh. That's the thing, when you do a tide, you'll be kind of thin out.
Well, it was a single bottle from that manufacturer. I don't have any other flavors from them. I just picked it up because I heard how good it was. Premium custard.
Yes,
why don't
flavors,
I go look?
I remember them. They're classics as well. On the buses. Oh, you're being served. Brilliant stuff.
No, flavorless, flavor stash.
Have you got your own little inventory
Oh,
on
it's
there?
flavor art.
Ah. Up here.
Flavor art custard premium.
Have you got your own little inventory on there?
Everybody does. You can, once you get your stuff,
Oh, that's
you know,
cool.
you obviously have your account, but
I
you
didn't even
upload
realize-
on there. That's how I do the recipes. I have 293 flavors in my stash.
Wow.
A list of all of them, as them alphabetically. And then once you tell it what you have, on the top of the page, you click, what can I make? And it will make and list all the recipes that you can make using the ingredients you have on hand.
That's awesome. I didn't know you could do that.
Yes, sir.
That's brilliant.
Yep.
I wonder what I can
All
call
right.
mine. Wonder what I can call mine when I just start doing mine.
So I'm going to substitute just custard. We got vanilla swirl. We're going to add
Oh my God, Heat's Flavor Shack. How does that sound?
custard premium.
I need to get me sorted out on there. Like, I really need to get on there. Flavors. FA. Did you know FA flavor are non-noms flavor that have been rebottled? Well, to his knowledge. I don't know.
I have heard that.
I would not know.
So where are we at total percentage wise?
It's nice that. Where you going with the custard, yeah?
That's good. Make it as a 6.
I don't think that I'm being that selfish right now. You said yourself you'd be
There's our recipe for today.
Welcome, Michael Redfern, into chat. He's wishing you and myself a very happy new year.
Happy New Year, Michael.
just remember this. Could have been stardust, same world, but without
Dropping flavors, dropping juices, moving cameras around.
I'll definitely do that with your flavors. Yep, he's just commented there. He says, as soon as I get my first package and happy with the flavor, we'll do up a major care package the same as Alex. I would much appreciate that. I'll be honest with you guys, I've never been really a fan of mixing because, like I said, I'm not a patient type of guy. I could never ever wait for stuff to steep, but you know, since I've been on here with Alex, I'm getting more and more interested. And I mean, we do have a UK mixer in the UK who does a show. He's called Benny Vapes, and his is basically, you know, similar to what we do. He's a mixing show, you know, and he's got various guys on. And I think he's a couple of his guests that he's got on are from the USA, and I think he's got a couple of mixers on there. So, you know, it's something that I'm starting to creep into more and more and wanting to have a go more and more. So, you know, definitely give it a bash.
All right, so we're
Yes. It's interesting. You know, you're in your lab and you're conjuring up your flavors, you know, it's a science, isn't it?
it's also just a little bit of experimentation.
Exactly.
Because sometimes, you know, it might look perfect, but then you mix it up and it's like, it's missing this or it's muddling this. And then you can try and diagnose why it's doing that.
I've got this image in my head of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde when he's in his lab and he goes, oh, I'll have a vape of this, and he curls another table and he comes up, rah! That juice is shit.
But you make the flavors that appeal to you.
Yeah, definitely.
And you start simple. You start with single flavor, one shot.
Yeah.
That gives you comfortable, you know, making the 70-30 mix and then adding the flavor, adding the secret sauce, and, you know, you're good to go.
But on the other side of the coin, there's also where you can start to reach out your comfort zone and try other stuff. Like I say, I'm a big fan of custards, and I will probably start off making custards. But then I'll probably think, I might try this fruit one, or I might try this bakery one. You know, you can branch out a bit more. You can grow your comfort zone, you know what I mean? Without, like sometimes I've been to my local vape shop, I found a juice I like, I bought that juice, and all of a sudden, I fancy a taste, I fancy a try or something. I'll go and buy another bottle, pay 20 quid of it, and it's absolutely disgusting, and that's 20 quid down the pan. As you say, when you make it yourself, you can do a little 30ml bottle, try it, you're not happy with it, you've lost 30ml. Big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know a lot of people that, they only make 10 mils of it.
Yeah.
Just enough so that they can try it.
Yeah,
and then they'll make another batch that, might use different ingredients, or they might just add to it.
That's what I mean. You can make smaller samples rather than wasting money on a 120ml bottle of whatever. Because I've done that many a time, I'll be honest with that. I've looked at a bottle, I went, oh, that looks nice, I'll buy it, and when you're getting it home...
That's how I got started. I ordered a starter kit from Liquid Barn. I know I wanted blue raspberry, so I ordered a big bottle of blue raspberry, and I just made it up. Single flavor, 8%. Use that, put the secret sauce in it, and I'm like, wow, this is really good. I vaped that for a while, I probably went through 250 mils of it, and then I'm like, okay, let me see what I can change it up with. Yeah. So I pulled out sweet strawberry, added 2% of this into it. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. You can add this in there. You can taste a little bit of the strawberry. You get the blue cotton candy. Yeah. Blue raspberry cotton candy is the dominant note. And it's like, okay, this is pretty neat. And then I substituted that out for orange. I'm like, that works pretty good too. And then you just keep playing with it and keep expanding your palate.
That's the beauty of it. You can take the base flavor you like and add something, or take something, like you say, a custard, you can pretty much add anything. Strawberry custard, peach custard, that's, you can pretty much add pretty much anything to it. And that's how you family about. But it's starting to interest us even more, and I'm sitting there thinking, I see all these people doing it and all this stuff, and I should give it a bash. And now, like I say, to hell with it. It's time I got stuck in, done something.
I don't know if this is just me or whether that's legit how it is, but when I've mixed up recipes, like I don't even put them on the ELR. I just sit here and I mix it up and go, okay, well, this is how much, 2% is. So I do multiples of 2%, 2, 4, 6. When I've used the Flavrz recipe ingredients, I've never had one that I didn't like. It might not have come out exactly like I thought it was going to. Like I probably should have, pushed this more or cut this back a little bit more, put more separation between the flavor profiles. But it's so much easier when I mix up their flavorings than like Capella and using Flavor Art, because you can have a Flavor Art flavor that 0.5% is the max that you would want to put in anything before it takes over and changes everything else. That's one thing I've really loved about these ones is you can sit there and crank the percentages all up to 10% and 5%. And it's unbelievable how easy it is to come up with something you can enjoy.
Yeah, man. There you go. Your missus has just put a comment in there. Isn't this ironic? As I'm watching this vaping show live, I have to go take my brother cigarettes. LMAO. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there's somebody
she's got to take a medicine. He hurt his knee, so she needs to pick up his prescription as well. But there's a man that will never quit smoking.
Do you really? You don't think it's a bit of a challenge?
He'll die with a cigarette in his mouth.
You don't think it's a bit of a challenge to give him a go at him with it, like, or is he just not interested?
If he was diagnosed with cancer tomorrow, he'd still light up a cigarette and continue smoking.
Really? He's that stringent?
There's a lot of people out there like that. That's their right. They have a choice. That's what they want to do. Let them do it. But the thing is, when you get to the point where you start feeling your knees cracking and you're gurgling when you're walking up steps, you get short of breath. It makes you take a second look at your life and your choices that you've made and go, can I make this better?
The way I
still enjoy.
I think I said the way I look at it, I was one of them. I was an adamant smoker. Nothing was going to make me stop. Nothing. I was adamant. I was old school smoker. I was adamant nothing was going to make us stop. enjoyed. Hands up, I enjoyed a cigarette. Absolutely loved it. And I thought there's nothing on this planet that'll make me quit smoking. Here I am now. What? Maybe 6-7 years down the line. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm in the same frame of mind. There's nothing on this planet to stop us vaping.
Yep, that's where I'm at.
You know what I mean?
I found a safer alternative to what I was doing.
Yeah.
I don't expect to be 100% safe because nothing in the world is 100% safe. I could walk out, go get the mail, crossing the street and get run over.
Yeah.
So I'm going to enjoy my life while I have it.
Michael Redfern there. Hello. He's just commented there. He knew he would die smoking, then he found vaping. It's unbelievable, man.
And, I'm a big fan of Clive Bates. And let me tell you, he is the only person that's advocating for vaping that truly speaks the way I feel. There is no reason why you shouldn't be able to enjoy nicotine the same way you do caffeine. They have these energy drinks out now. God, that smells so fantastic. I'm just sitting here in my hand and I'm like, what is that smell? Caramel.
Yeah, nice bit of caramel.
Oh.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to enjoy it the same way you do your cup of coffee.
Oh, this is it. America, the land of the free. It's certainly not at the minute. As they say it.
You're not as free as you think you are.
Wait, no, I never have been. Same here.
And the thing is, I was doing the news all last year and following up on everything. And I know what the laws are and where they've been passed and what the legislation is. And I go run and tell people on Facebook groups, listen, California is on the verge of banning all flavors. Nah, I don't have a problem. I can go to the store and get whatever flavor I want. So you're not listening to me. The laws are in the books. They haven't enforced anything yet. Once the court battle's done and they ban it, it's just a matter of time before all of a sudden ATF shows up and starts closing up vape shops because they're illegally selling flavors.
Well, that's
what are you going to do then?
It was that first domino. Once that first domino fell, that was it.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden, the law went into effect, and somebody went to their local vape shop and they had nothing but tobacco, and they flipped out on Facebook going, why did this happen? This is ridiculous.
And like I said, a lot of people seen it coming.
And I linked them to my post 6 months earlier, and I linked them to my post about the election, and they had no comment to say about that.
No. Like I said, you've seen it coming, and a lot of other people seen it coming. The writing was on the wall, you know what I mean?
And now I'm fearful of Maine because Portland passed the flavor ban, and now it's moving and has been proposed for the entire state.
Well, I mean, I believe there's still the similar scenario happening in some places in the EU, so it has kind of crept over to our part of the world, right? And we're sitting here like in the UK thinking we'll be all right, but it's, we don't want to get too complacent. But
Yeah, because you never know what's right around the corner.
Exactly.
All it takes is one idiot to propose something and other people to not oppose it, and next thing you know, you're under a whole new circumstance.
I mean, with the current government, like the Tory government, they are kind of pro-vaping, because of, the hospitals.
The healthcare system dictates that they follow common sense.
Yeah. But obviously they haven't done all the TPD malarkey since we left the EU because obviously of other things going on in the world. So I think that's where everybody's kind of holding their breath I think that's when we will know exactly where we stand with it, because at the moment we're still technically under the TPD, the EU, because nothing's changed as yet. So we're kind of sitting waiting to see where we're going to go from here, type of thing. But
Nothing is written in stone.
I'm pretty much confident we'll be okay. I'm pretty much confident, but you just don't know. I mean, I don't know where the Labour Party stand on vaping. I've got no idea whether they're pro-vaping or not. I don't know.
You're going to be the last wall standing if
Possibly,
this thing continues progressing. Bloomberg certainly got enough money to keep the misinformation propaganda campaign toiling away, and as time goes on, we are nothing but sheep, and social media is
I kind of think with
the
us,
shepherd.
because we are a small nation, the power of the people does travel. You know what I mean? We are the voters, and these MPs want to vote, and the power of the people does work that way. There you go. French custard, all ready to rock and roll.
that simple.
I'm wondering if that's going to need a time to steep. Like, it's a
It
custard,
probably
isn't it?
will, but I'm going to try it today anyway.
Why not?
It's obviously going to be much better 24 hours down the road, 48 hours, and even a week later. It's one of those things, it's like a wine. You can bottle that wine, and you get the idea that it's an alcoholic grape juice.
So then
No.
Mallory Gates is just commented in capitals, yay, internet is back. She's been offline.
Awesome.
Excellent, Mallory.
Mallory Gates, hello and welcome. Michael Redfern and Sean Lynch. I didn't miss anybody. Sorry, folks. I'm kind of anal about that.
I think
There's always a pet peeve of mine, when you see these streamers out there. And obviously when you got, hundreds of people in chat, constantly going, it's impossible to pay attention to everyone. But I'm not a big streamer. There's no reason I should ever miss anybody in chat. I want to make sure everybody feels special.
Mallory's commented, my New Year's resolution is to help all my friends gain 10 pounds so I look skinnier. That's one way of doing it.
I'm getting a little bit of that custard. I can tell that that's going to develop beautifully. I get a little bit of the butterscotch. And I even get the vanilla.
Is the butterscotch not overpowering? Because I've found
No.
with butterscotch vanilla, you get a lot of butterscotch, butterscotch.
Not with this one.
Nice blend, yeah?
It blends very well.
Ah, right.
And I didn't even put any sweetener in there.
I wish I had smell-o-vision. Smell that, custard, man. Jesus.
I'm going to put a touch of super sweetness.
Drop a sweetener in, yeah? Just that finesse.
Oh, I don't know what happened to my opener. That's why it's always good to have
A spare.
spare. And as I drop the chain that it came with,
Wow. That's just getting better and better with every vape, that. Oh, Jesus. Ah. Bit more sweetener. Come on. Yeah, with this one, I start with 2 drops. And I thought, it's just about then. I put another 2 in. And I mean, you might think 2 drops is minuscule, but It does make a difference.
Oh,
Trust us.
well, this is 600 times sweeter than sugar.
Yeah.
That's why it only takes 2 drops. 0.16 is all I'm adding to this 30 ml bottle, which is going to be like 2 drops.
I was quite surprised. I thought, I'd give it a squirt. I thought, no, take it easy.
3 drops.
Yeah. What a difference, man. Unbelievable. Say sweetener's bad for you. No, it's not.
This is artificial sweetener. It's not, it has nothing to do with sugar.
It's not.
Yes, sugar is bad for you, but
No,
so
it's
is artificial
not.
sweetener if you really think about it.
No, it's not. Compared to all the other stuff that's bad for you, sugar's good.
Considering it's in everything, you don't know it's in everything. That's the part that makes it bad. It's not that sugar's bad. You can't survive without sugar.
Exactly.
But I love the fact that they send you a chain with it.
Oh, it's yours on a little lanyard type thing there, yeah?
Yeah, so I can hang that off my microphone and it's never going to get lost.
I'm going to use mine as a bottle opener for me beer as well. It'll probably do the same job.
Sure.
Oh. Does the job. Bottle opener's a bottle opener, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Better.
Yep. Just 0.5% is all it took to get this thing to actually give you a little bit more of that flavor. I love it. I'm going to leave it sit. Reevaluate it tomorrow. And I'm going to be just like you are, Kenny.
Flavrz has said 1% will make it sticky and enhance the cream. Dusty County Road says always add 0.5 super sweet and go from there if needed. And then Flavrz said same, but Hunky Vape is a sugar fiend.
I do like things sweet. Sometimes it's sickeningly sweet and I don't like it, but
Yeah.
when I've been making my own recipes, I always gravitate more towards 1%. A lot of my recipes have 2% in them.
Yeah, it's got to be a bit of a nice balance. So I mean, obviously, super sweet's just it kills everything else. Kills everything else off, doesn't it?
There we go. 3 more drops and we're at 1%.
That's interesting. Flavrz has got a question. Does the sugar alcohol in vape juice trigger an insulin response in the body the same as consuming it?
Well, there's a difference in how much you're consuming.
You're getting all scientific now, though.
Technically, you're going to have the reaction to sugar regardless of it. However, because you're putting so little in it and it's vaporized, a lot of that alcohol is going to dissipate. So you're not going to have an actual, like, your blood sugar is not going to spike because of it.
Plus, like you said, it's an artificial
Mallory
sweet.
Gates gave a firm no.
Yeah, but like you say, it's an artificial sweetener.
You would have to vape a lot of it for it to actually raise your blood sugar.
Yeah. You have to drink
It's just
it.
look at the mass difference between, you know, somebody like me compared to how much alcohol is actually in this.
There's more in this.
They can't see you. Hold on. Show them again.
There's more in that.
Definitely.
Single can. Yeah, just like I said, the quantities are very, very small. You know what I mean? They're minute.
Now, if you want to hear that firsthand from a diabetic, Dave used to be on the Aussie Vape Show. He's a diabetic. He talked about that in numerous live streams that Legion Vapes had done. Here's my plug for Steve.
Yep, Legion Vapes, cracking guy.
Got me through COVID with his coffee with Legion vapes.
Michael Redfern states the flavorings are basically the same as diabetic safe candy. So, you know, there's nothing in them. That would.
Yeah, the only one that actually has any caloric content is the alcohols.
Definitely.
But
Alec Gates has dropped a link in there, the science of diabetes and vaping. So there you go. There's a link there if any one of you guys want to investigate it more or whatever.
Ignore the headlines. There's no science linking vaping to prediabetes.
There you go.
Yeah, because just about everything that you consume is going to be more of a threat to, you know, hyperinsulinemia than what's actually contained in a couple drops placed into here and then vaporized before you inhale it.
It's like a lot of additives and stuff you get in food, you know. It's set at a level that is safe to consume, but obviously, you know, you would have to literally consume a ton of it for it to harm you in any way. You know what I mean? It's just you know, it's knocked across the board with a lot of stuff. You know,
you'd have to be Kenny the Vaping He drinking his e-liquid for it to be a concern.
Not a problem. Rock and roll. No, I would never. Nah. Don't drink e-liquid, folks. Not good.
I don't know why I thought that was from a different vape manufacturer. I mean, a flavor manufacturer. I didn't realize that was Flavor Art, Custard Premium. I thought it was like Mullenberry or something.
But there you go. You check your inventory, and there you go. That's the beauty of an inventory.
Mullenberry is a brand I do not have.
Really?
Despite a lot of people telling me how wonderful it is. And you're right, it is a sickening sweet. A sticky sweetness, not a sickening sweetness.
Yeah.
The residual now in my mouth is, you know, that sticky feeling for sweetness, and that was at 1%.
Wow. Good though, yeah? Made it better.
That's going to develop into a wonderful custard. No doubt in my mind.
Damn.
All right. Now it's time for us to actually do a random recipe.
Just to pretty much round off what we said, Ian Thomas, Dusty County Road Flavor West, who make concentrate we use in vaping are intended for food. Do not make a tasty yellow cake that contains elements that may not be 100% safe for vaping. Yeah, it's similar scenario.
Yes, that is definitely true. And you can see it in your ingredients list.
Yeah. I'll tell you, man, if you want anybody to find anything out of you, for you, Ian is the man. You know, he does it every time. He's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He's a proper
I'll even go
finder.
to my flavor stash and show you.
He's a proper
If you
fact
look closely, you'll see the little warning mark, like Liquid Barnes. Baked cinnamon roll.
Yeah, I think you touched on that last week, didn't you? Yeah.
Yep. It tells you exactly what's in it. So you can look at all your flavor stash and choose what you want to choose. Contains a form of sugar. Sugar may caramelize and even burn at low temperatures and produce toxins as suspected carcinogens. Contains molasses and furfural alcohol. Because I've done so much damage to my body over the years, I'm not concerned about it. Especially considering how infrequently I'm going to actually add that into a recipe.
Exactly. And again, small quantities.
Yeah. 1% of that 30 mils is going to contain that. And what percentage of that flavoring ingredient actually contains that sugar?
Yeah.
I would be willing to bet that the processed foods that we buy in boxes to make our lives easy so we can cook dinner and eat in 30 minutes are probably more a hazard to my health
Oh, yes.
than these flavorings that I'm using in my vapes. Scientifically, for somebody that is young, like my daughter, she turned 18 and started vaping or whatever, turned 21 now, and decided to start vaping. Or like my son, who's in the military, he's in his 20s. If he does it for his entire life, he's going to incur the risk of those bad ingredients. But how many years did I drink 2-liter bottles of Mountain Dew with, what is that vegetable oil that was in it? Can't think off the top of my head. Brominated vegetable oil. That's a known carcinogen, and it was in our Mountain Dew for decades. But nobody's going to talk about that cancer risk.
No.
Because the soda industry is got to keep making its cash.
Well, you can see it's just across the board for most energy drinks. There's lots of water. I mean, now here in the UK, I think you've got to be a certain age to buy them. I don't know if it's 16 or 8. I'm sure it's 18.
Not here. I see 12-year-olds drinking Red Bull with taurine in it.
Wow.
Bouncing off the walls and bragging about it.
I think we've got an age limit over here. But, whether it's adhered to is another matter.
This looks interesting. The Vapor Chef. Honey Perry clone. Apricot, honeydew, pear, and strawberry ripe.
Oh, you see? There's 6 million. There's a little thing here that confuses me, right? I mean, you can get us wrong. I'm not being a knacker here. Right? You see, like, on the top of the recipe, you've got the secret sauce, 100 milligram, at 3.6 ml.
You brought this up before. I'm going to show you a little trick here.
6%. So if I was to do that for 3 milligram, would that be 3%?
Yes.
Yeah, but that's me thinking behind it. That's why I was a bit. I'm with you. I've got it's in the penny sunk. That couldn't work out. I've got that now. Yeah, that penny's dropped.
There
now.
she is. I knew honeydew was a new flavor, and it came in one of these little tiny
small
10
bottle.
ml bottles.
Bingo, got it now. Penny's dropped.
Let me show you something. If you take this to 100, look at the milliliters and the percentage. See how they're the same?
Yeah, 6. It's 6%.
Because it's 100 milliliters.
6% is 6 mil out of 100, isn't it?
To get 100%, so 5% of 100 milliliters is 5 milliliters.
5 milliliters, yeah.
That's where the simple math comes.
That's
What
it.
gets confusing is when you go, okay, well, you know what, I'm only going to make a 30 mil of this.
That's what I mean. You're like thinking the percentages.
And now it's like, oh, it's only 1.8 mil.
Yeah,
Well, it's a third of what it would be.
that's right.
So,
But it's still the same percentage. The milliliters is less, but the percentage is the same. Pretty much.
so there we go. There's our lovely recipe.
Have a look at that. I'm gonna have to have a play on here.
.16.
How long have you actually been mixing for, bud?
A year.
Yeah.
Well, if you consider, I don't consider my mixing when I made this real mixing. I was getting into mixing. I started this very soon after I started vaping.
Yeah. So you've been vaping what? A couple of years now?
3 years.
3 years.
And I wish I would have started years and years ago.
I think that's a journey people go on. You know, like when you start vaping, you've got to kind of find your feet, haven't you? Where you are, what you're using, what your flavors you like, and all that stuff. And then obviously once you get that set, you know, that kind of foundation of what you like, then you can plot on and, you know, advance to whatever.
The hardest part about mixing is learning how your flavors taste and how they react. You buy a flavor from, doesn't matter what company you're looking at, generally speaking, but you buy a flavor and you mix it up at 1%. You mix somebody else's flavor at 1%. You can't taste it at all. You need to push that at 3-4% before you start tasting it. And then some of them, when you push it to 6%, all of a sudden it changes and it becomes nasty.
I've got you. There you go. Ian Thomas has just rounded off there, you know, like some of your flavors got warnings, and he says at the end of the day, the hazard is still way less than smoking cigarettes. So he's hit the nail on the head.
That is definitely true. Without a doubt.
So,
like this pear is not 100% safe. It's got stuff in it that, you know, could harm you. I'm putting 1.85 in here anyway.
but I bet it's safer than smoking.
Yeah.
Simple as that, isn't it? That's the simplicity of it.
Okay, let me see if we got this right. All right, ready?
E-cigarettes are less toxic than cigarettes.
There we go. The expert reined in and let us know the truth. Problem solved. You're saying?
I don't know. I'm just comparing this. I think I've touched on before. As like when cigarettes, was the thing, in the 50s, 60s, maybe as early as. And obviously, the Royal College of Physicians thought, hang on, this stuff fucking kills you. And then when they've obviously passed these warnings on the rest of the world, it took so long for them to take up on it. So I'm just wondering if we're going down the same track here with vaping, and they've kind of done that test, they put it out. Vaping is, 95% or even more safer than cigarettes. And, it's like any business. Tobacco is a big business, so I think it's going to take time for people to finally adhere or wake up to it, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's a big financial thing that's, I mean, here in the UK, they want us to be smoke-free by, 2030, whatever?
2030.
Which is good. Yeah, which is good, fine. Yeah, I'm up with that. But how are they going to make up for all the lost revenue and taxes off cigarettes if they disappeared? It's got to come from somewhere, innit?
Well, I know how they're going to do it here in the United States. Cannabis.
Oh, aye, but they're already down that road, aren't they?
A lot of states are.
Excuse me.
It's just a matter of time before it becomes legalized for recreational purposes across the whole country. But see, they're not jumping to joy to legalize it and decriminalize it, because think of all the people that have to release from prison that are in prison only because of that.
It's a catch-22 with it, because technically it's a herb. If you smoke it on its own, it's still smoking.
You're still combusting it.
But here, they mix it with tobacco, obviously, to stretch it. So I'm just wondering which is worse. Is smoking weed on its own just as bad as smoking cigarettes? Because obviously, with all the cigarette tobacco, you've got all the chemicals added in. Hopefully, with the weed, you haven't. It's more natural. Well, you know, I'm just wondering
It's
which.
still going through combustion.
Yeah.
However, once you eliminate combustion and you just consume it via gummies or brownies, or you eliminate the combustion,
Yeah.
the health effects of coffee is going to be different.
Oh God, I don't doubt. But that's what I'm saying. Like medicinal, that would be brilliant. But I think for recreational, it's going to be smoked. It's as simple as that.
Most of the states here in this country have legalized it for medicinal purposes.
Yeah.
And the medicinal stuff that's out there is not like the stuff that you and I experimenting with as a kid. I mean, is so much more potent than any of that stuff that we ever thought we had.
God, it's just come on in leaps and bounds.
And like you said, more than likely, when we were younger, first off, the plants weren't formulated as they are today.
Yeah.
Second off, it was probably mixed in with tobacco because the drug dealer wants to make as much money as he can make. And he can buy a bag of loose leaf tobacco and mix it up with a bag of this. And as long as you're getting the reaction that you expect to get out of it, you don't care.
No. Oh no, I think here it's the end user that adds the tobacco to make it last, you know, to stretch it out. It doesn't come pre-mixed with tobacco.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, the corner dealer probably does thin it out. Because the stuff that, you know, they're growing nowadays is way more potent than the stuff that they grew back in the 60s and 70s.
There's that many strains of it now. I mean, there's tons and tons and tons of different strains now. You know, you're like, whoa.
What gets me is, you know, I've watched plenty of these documentary series and stuff on this stuff out there, and they literally not only have tons of strains of it, but they can literally tell you exactly what the effects are going to be of each of these strains and how it's going to affect you differently.
Oh, yeah. The stuff
They got strains of this stuff that you don't need to take Viagra, buddy.
Yeah.
You eat a gummy of this stuff, and guess what? You're raring to go like you were a teenager going to the prom.
Wait, what's that called? Can I have some?
Sorry, I'm not that familiar with it. I can't name it off the top of my head.
Please let me know.
2 more years and my daughter is going to be out of the house, and then it can become a possibility.
Wow, man. Honestly.
There we go. Done. Honey Perry. What a name.
It is, isn't it? What is the
Vapor
flavor?
Chef.
I've never really been a fan of pear.
I think pear I really like, but you can't like have it all the time. It's like one of those things I get in the mood for once in a while.
I think it's one of them ones where you've got to get a good pear to like it, because a lot of them are horrible.
Well, they're too hard.
Yeah.
You get a nice Bartlett pear and you let it sit on your table for a week, and
Yeah.
perfect.
I mean, especially some of obviously the commercial juices. The pear, it's awful. It's bitter as hell. The aftertaste is bitter. It's horrible.
Well, that's because in the industrialized world that we live in nowadays, they pick crops a month before they're actually ready and ripe. And they use gas to ripen them on the truck on the way to the store. Or in the warehouse, they'll refrigerate them so they can keep them for 6 months. And then 6 months later, they'll inject this gas, ethylene gas or whatever, into the storage facility to ripen all these pears.
Jesus.
Most of us have no clue about what happens to the food from the farm it grows on until it gets to our table.
Oh, God, well, chickens that used to, we heard rumors and inject them with water to plump them up.
I wouldn't be surprised to find out that they're genetically modified as well so that they have bigger breasts since that's what sells more. I mean, there was a talk a couple years back on Thanksgiving time about how some of these turkeys, their breasts are so big that they can't walk. When they go to the slaughterhouse, they can't walk into the slaughterhouse.
Probably a lot of the old, what should we say?
Ian Thomas says he hears that there's THC vapes available here in the UK. No
Where?
idea where from.
Where?
And then there's the artificial THC.
That's scary.
I'm waiting till they come out with a Delta version of the nicotine. You know that somebody's out there working on it. Go ahead, take this into the chemistry lab and analyze it. It is not chemically identical to what you know as nicotine.
Yeah.
Just a matter of time.
You don't know what they're working on, D-man, these labs now, man.
Best documentary that I've ever watched was The Economics of the Drug War. Boy, did it wake my eyes open. I thought I was, a pretty open-minded person to begin with, but once I watched that, I'm like, ain't no way you're ever going to stop this.
Nope.
Ever. The farmer gets $3 an acre for this. As soon as it crosses the border, you're at $300 a bushel.
That's what I mean.
And the tougher the laws are when it has to cross the border, the more expensive it is on the other side.
Exactly.
And the more reason people are going to be willing to take the chance of partaking in that market.
I think I seen a documentary once where they were literally making heroin in the jungle somewhere, and he was actually showing us like some of the stuff he was putting in, and he was actually putting petrol in it. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Putting that in their veins. Jesus Christ. What an eye-opener that was.
That's how they process cocaine as well.
The shit that went in it was disgusting. You would never think of, if you knew, you would never touch it again. You wouldn't.
You're scared because you don't understand chemistry, though. It's fundamental chemistry. You could do the same thing in a clean lab with ISO certification, and you wouldn't think twice about it because, it's a chemist doing it in a lab. Just because it happens in a jungle and they're using the unpurified variant of the chemical to process it.
It was unbelievable what was going in. You're like, Jesus Christ, was people actually put this in their bodies?
Yes, they do.
It's crazy.
Because when it's a white powder and it's clean, there's nobody bats an eyelash to what it took to get it to there. Kind of like your food.
Yeah.
You don't realize, how homegrown, realistic, natural is your chicken.
Yeah.
We had a batch of chickens here for a couple months that, man, the texture on it was just wrong. It was so soft and so mushy. It was like, am I eating chicken or am I eating mashed potatoes?
Oh, that bad. Yeah, that's bad.
I'm like, where did they get these chickens from? It didn't smell bad. It's not like it was spoiled chicken. But I honestly think that something fishy happened to these chickens when they were growing up. They were fed something, or they were genetically modified, or something was wrong. Because you have been eating chicken breasts your whole life, and you know what the texture of a chicken breast is going to be like. If it's overcooked, or if it's cooked too fast, or if it's, even a juicy chicken that you roast in the oven, how that falls apart in your mouth. And then you eat this stuff and it's like, was this ground chicken pushed into a patty?
That would be bad, like.
It was grown in a lab. Wouldn't be surprising to me at all.
It was more than likely. It's like I say, with all this cloning crap and DNA science they're coming across now, man, you're just scary what they're going to do.
Listen, I'm not afraid of technology. I'm not afraid of eating lab-grown meat and stuff. But you know what? There's a clear difference between a chicken that grows up on its own and something that was completely fabricated. Like Burger King used to sell the meatless burgers, meatless Whoppers. I love them things. I knew it was plant-based. I didn't mind. It had the right texture characteristics of a hamburger.
Exactly.
But I wasn't putting all that, triglycerides and stuff into my body.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, the salt content was way up there, but
the salt.
but you're gonna exceed the safety requirements of salt no matter what restaurant you go to eat at. That's how they make food taste fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on a shelf near you.
It is.
It sure is. No, I have not tried a vegan chicken. I know that they sell at Morningstar. I was eating Morningstar brand, which is like supposed to be like the vegan kind of output of products and stuff. I had their breakfast sandwiches and stuff, and they tasted fantastic. I mean, I felt better after eating just that for a week instead of, taking a break from, real meats and steaks and stuff. But
just that kind of. I mean, everyone their own, but I can't get away with this vegan shit. I mean, we're meat eaters at the end of the day. That's what we are. You know what I mean? We've been meat eaters since the dawn of time. So
there are some professional athletes that have switched to a vegan diet and doubled their performance because of it.
Rabbit food.
But then again, it all comes down to personal choice. You choose what you like to eat. Don't force people to choose, something that they don't want to eat. If they want to eat that, then let them eat that. If they want to talk about fruits and apples and, nuts, feel free.
It's down to choice at the end of the day, but, you do get people trying to force it onto you. Like, you know what I mean? You're meat eater. Oh, meat is bad for the environment and all this bullshit. Fuck off, man. It's fucking life. You know what I mean?
Too much of anything is bad for everything. You can't eat steak 7 days a week and not die early from it. I guarantee you that's what the science shows out there, and you can't argue about it. You might not like it, but that's what the science shows.
I do get
Our bodies
that.
were not designed to just eat that.
No. I know, I get where you're coming from, but technically, we're still. It's a circle of life. There's meat eaters wherever. Us, various animals. Well, that's just meat. We're meat eaters. It's as simple as that. There's no getting around it.
Listen, I love bacon, but my gout will remind me if I've eaten too much of it. So I've had turkey bacon before. And let me tell you, turkey bacon is the fakest substitute equivalent for any meat on the planet. That is fake.
We've got a couple of shops down here, and with their religion, not eat pork, but they do turkey bacon, and it's not that bad actually.
No, it's not horrible, but out of all the fake meat that I've eaten, that I've known of eating,
you can't beat a good old pork rasher.
it is the fakest of them all.
Yeah.
I would love to eat more nuts and fruits and berries and salads and stuff like that. But take a look at the economics of scale, and you walk into a store, you buy a bag of lettuce or buy a head of lettuce, and you go to buy, your pork chop. What's cheaper?
Well,
you can buy pork chops for the entire family cheaper than you can make a salad for the entire family.
No, I don't know, but over here, I don't think it is too bad over here. Meat here is quite pricey.
Oh, it's pricey here too. Pork isn't. Pork is the cheapest of all the meats.
Honestly, the kids the other day said, "Oh, Dad, I could just do with a steak." I went, "Oh, I can have a look at it." And the steak, I'd say, was about that big, right? The little pre-pack with that big, wasn't even an inch thick, but half an inch thick. £7.
Listen, I've said this before. I would rather have a prime choice steak once a month than eat just generic steak every week. Because there's that much of a difference between it. When you cook a prime choice steak certified Angus, Gold Star, whatever the labeling they put on it. I'm telling you, that thing melts in your mouth.
Yeah.
You don't need to eat it rare. You can cook it well done, and it will still melt in your mouth, just like filet mignon.
I wouldn't eat any kind of meat rare. It's got to be medium to well done for me, all the way. When you see these people slice into it and there's still blood coming out of it, you say, why did you even put it in the pan, mate? Just
My daughter's philosophy on it is, as long as it's not moving when it comes to my plate, I'm ready to eat.
I've seen them where it looks like it's still got a heartbeat.
I'll take mine medium well.
Yeah, I'm the same. I just like,
I used to say well done all the time, but sometimes it comes out and it's like, well, it's way overcooked.
Too
So
well done.
I go with medium well, and then usually if it comes to my plate, if I cut it up right away, I'm eating more towards the medium. And if I wait and eat the salad first, then I'll get something that's almost well done.
Well, let it rest, haven't you?
Yeah.
Nah, these people that just dip it in the pan and anything, I think, Christ almighty, man.
Pork is definitely cheap. If you've ever seen the way that they grow pigs in this country,
Jesus.
it's disgusting.
It can be. That's exactly what I mean, Flavrz. Cook killed. That's exactly what I cook killed. Fucking hell, man.
Speaking of cooking, on the advice of Addie Tooney, I requested for Christmas the Flavor Bible, and let me tell you, I love this thing. This thing literally has flavor combinations. You can pick any ingredient that you want, like this apricot, for example, and it'll tell you everything, every flavor profile that will go good with an apricot.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, I ordered some actual seasoning flavors, like anise, and it tells you everything that goes with berries and beverages and carrots, fruits, honey, melons, peaches, raspberries, and green from salads. Also goes really well in tea. Birdman69, hello and welcome to the stream.
How you doing, Birdman?
It's early in the morning for you there.
Australia.
Another Aussie.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to developing some actual e-liquid recipes based on this book, because you can come up with some really, really weird combinations.
I bet.
Like apricots go really well, obviously, with, sugar and vanilla and creams. It goes well with Kirsch. Almonds, apples, cardamom,
apricot and apple,
cherries. Apricots go really well with cinnamon.
Whoa.
Coffee and espresso, cognac, coriander.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking forward to trying those things out.
If it gives you a bit of inspiration and a bit of, something to have a dabble with.
Yeah, because I are both analytical people and stuff, and this lights my creativity fire. Like, okay, I would have never thought about putting those two together. Let me try that and see what it's like. It's a little mad scientist. Okay, I want to see what this is going to taste like. Let me play with these percentages and see if I can create something very unique.
Two things you never think, I'll put a bit of banana with a bit of roast beef, see how that goes. Wow.
You can't get roast beef flavor. That's not a good combination.
And now we can put a bit of banana on your joint. You know what I mean? Get on there. You don't know, do you?
Listen, you never question, pairing up bananas with almonds or walnuts, in a fruit salad, but you wouldn't think about making a vape liquid with it.
No, that's the thing. The food flavors that you're pairing, would they work with vaping flavors? That's the question.
There's only one way to find out.
Yes.
I've realized, as it stands right now, I've got more flavors than I ever will make. Unless I start going into commercial liquid making, I will never use all these flavors.
I can see this coming now. There's going to be some new flavors coming over here that you don't even think of. You know what I mean? It's kind of going, oh, I've just made a banana and a yogurt.
What got me really thinking about this, Flavrz talked about this before, about, you know, how I talked about how OG Blue from Keep It 100 has something in that blue raspberry that is like a sour, like off note that like really complements the blue raspberry and the cotton candy, but it's just something that piques your curiosity and you keep vaping it because it's like so unique. You know, like the peach watermelon peach that Phil Basardo has on the unsalted line. It's just weird enough. Your all-day vapes are always going to be just a little weird.
I kind of get where you're coming from there, guy.
You can't eat a strawberry cheesecake every single day of the rest of your life.
No.
But if it's got something in there that like a hidden blueberry note or something, or orange or something that just like, this is a cheesecake, but there's something else there. That curiosity can easily turn that into an all-day vape.
I can see you could probably discover an all-day vape out of it. You know what I mean? You don't know.
And there's so many different flavor options out there.
You know, the man in the lab doing all the shit. This is where it comes from. You know what I mean?
Space Turtle 1, hello and welcome to the stream.
Oh, Turtle, how you doing?
You're late.
That's interesting. I'm quite.
Fair enough.
I'd like to see what you come up with. Let's see if we're going with that, eh?
Anticipation. See what happens when you leave me in the office studio with most of the things accomplished, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, now I get to start tweaking and fine-tuning stuff and coming out with all kinds of things.
I can see it. It's just, whatever rocks your boat type of thing, innit?
And Birdman brings up a very, very good point. Your liquids need to remain fresh. There is a certain point where it's reached its peak, and after that point, it's going to degrade. Some of them degrade like a cliff, and some of them take a long time to degrade. So today's experiment,
I think
to find out what an apple cinnamon donut tastes like after it's been steeping for a year and a half.
Oh, God. But then again, though, if you do get a flavour that you thoroughly enjoy, it doesn't fucking last long anyway.
No, it doesn't. There are a lot of liquid recipes that are formulated to have a short expiration date, meaning it takes a very short time for it to ripen and reach its full potential. And you don't care if it goes bad because you're never going to let it go bad.
I think it's like everything else, everything degrades after a while, doesn't it?
Well, you think about it. I mean, these people are flavor chemists that develop these recipes because it is literally a chemistry experiment every time we mix up our own liquids. There's going to have multiple chemical reactions taking place inside there that are going to alter and perceive. That's like when we changed out that one golden pineapple from Capella to the other one, it tastes completely different because the chemical formulation underlying that pineapple flavor is completely different.
Mm-hmm. As Space Turtle said there, sometimes long steeping can really improve a liquid. Like plum berry from Drip Hacks is too sweet, but after a year, it's just perfect. Well, yeah, that depends on what you're making. You know what I mean? There is normally a recommended steep time anyway for a liquid to reach its peak, so to speak, flavor.
And some flavors age better than others.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like if you were going to make a bottle of wine. You know, when you first start crafting your own wine and stuff, and you go to make it, you first taste it, it doesn't taste right. You wait a month, it doesn't taste right. You wait 6 months, and all of a sudden it's a perfect wine. But you take another bottle and you save it for your 1 year anniversary of it, and you open it up and it tastes like vinegar.
Yeah, like, you your 1910 bottle of Perrier, you know what I mean? 100-year-old fucking champagne that tastes phenomenal and it blows your brains out. What more can you ask for?
Well, first thing I noticed is this drop, the airflow's wide open, so a little too much airflow there. Despite how dark this is, it actually vapes pretty good.
It looks really dark. That looks like my last urine sample when I was ill. That's really dark.
Oh my God, you're horrible.
But like I said, if it's still vaping good, then I'll put him off it now. Whatever you do, don't say it tastes like piss.
It doesn't taste like piss. I'm getting like the cinnamony notes from it. I get that it used to be a bakery. It's kind of like a tartness to it, like there was an apple in here at one point. It doesn't taste like you left a food out for a month and then come back and tried it.
Yeah.
But let's just say this. If I knew a vapor that was broke, I would give this to him and let him vape the whole thing. But only if he liked it.
Well, there you go. Ian Thomas has come up with a comment there. Kept constantly cool and dark. E-liquids can keep for a long time. I have some that are 3 years old and still good. 3 years
And it
old.
also depends if it's nicked up or not. We talked about this before.
Wow.
Salty Man, pink milk. Clear as water. There's no nick in it. That is a shelf-stable liquid. I've got the apple, I've got the purple rain, and they are all the same.
But nicotine can have a long shelf life as well on its own, can't it? Rather than
Protect it from light and protect it from oxygen, so it doesn't oxidize.
yeah.
I know there's been people that talked about having it in their freezer for 10 years.
Jeez.
And they're still using, you know, a bottle that they bought 10 years ago.
That's weird, isn't it? Phenomenal, actually.
Well, you get some people that are anal about it. You know, you'll go and get the argon gas like they sell for the wine bottles. And every time they decant it, they'll spray argon in there so there's no oxygen left in the bottle.
Really? Wow.
And they'll have it in the amber glass bottle, and then they'll take that and put that into a freezer that is only used to store that. So the only time it's ever opened is whenever they go to decant another one.
Jesus.
And some people will just get a whole liter and decant it in 120 ml bottles and then put that away. That way it's never going to be opened until you open it.
But why?
Because with the prohibition that we had going on here, there was a real threat of not ever being able to buy Nick as a consumer product.
Yeah, there's that side, but like we've said, you know, if there's a demand for it, somebody will supply it. You know what I mean?
And there are Chinese websites out there that you can order from.
Yeah.
And the scary part is they will literally sell you a bottle like this at full strength. Full strength meaning you should probably have gloves and breathing apparatus when you open it and dilute that.
Oh, hell yeah.
But, you know, in the 100 milligram, I've spilled it on myself before, and you go in the bathroom, wash it off real quick, and you're okay.
Well, I'm the same. Even if I'm just putting my nick shots in, my normal, your normal lick shots in. If I get any on my fingers, I wash my hands straight away. Because it can be absorbed through the skin, can't it?
Yes, it is transdermal.
Yeah.
So it will automatically absorb, through your skin, but it takes time for that to happen. But you get into the 500 milligram and then the 1,000 milligram, and then you got a completely different scenario.
Well, that's obviously quantities where it becomes toxic, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like everything else, isn't it? Bollocks.
Yeah, I commented on that before. When the threat of the federal tax on Nick went into play, I calculated and says if that tax goes into effect, I got $26,000 in my freezer up. I'm gonna have to get a safe to put the freezer in.
Yeah, it's like
$4,000 a liter.
Whew, that's a lot.
Yeah, and it was all tax. We used to be able to buy a liter for $60.
Yeah. I mean, now you can understand why people take these, what we would call OTT courses of action to stock up on, whatever. With the threat of that hanging over your head, it is understandable, but again...
Space Turtle has 900 shots and thinks that it should last a while.
I would think so. Jesus. Holy moly, man. 900.
For sure, wash off 72 milligram quickly. Worst thing that might happen is you get a headache. It's the dose that makes the poison, exactly.
Yeah.
But if you had, a 250 milligram or a 500 milligram and you got it on there, you might end up in a hospital. It's not going to kill you. I should show the scientific study about that too. But you're definitely going to not want to vape for a while.
You're going to be very, very poorly.
Yeah.
Wow.
But see, they had the opportunity to make this safe for everybody to have access to it. And rather than actually legalizing it and creating a framework that, the consumer can actually purchase this safely, they chose just to ignore it all and say, none of it's authorized.
That's what I'm saying. That's a simple solution, is make it safe for people to have it. You know what I mean? You don't have any problems. It's not, like I say, it's simple, not rocket science, but, it all falls on deaf ears, unfortunately.
It falls on ears that have money coming in from other channels that are more important to them.
It's like, that's your crap. The money's coming in that one.
Yep. We're going to listen to your side of the story just so that you don't go out there and try and get somebody to vote against us. But when it comes time to actually voting on the bill, guess what? The bottom dollar is where the ultimate decision is made.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. All about the dollar, sir. All about the dollar. Unfortunately.
Well, unfortunately, we're at the 3-hour mark already. I haven't even done this one yet. So I guess we're going to have to put this off until next week. Unless you guys want to stick around.
3 hours.
For this.
Christ, mighty. Again. See what I mean? He's put. I'll have grown a beard in the next few.
You wait. I'm going to take this video from this year. I'm going to save it just like this with you sitting there. And I'm going to use my little magic in DaVinci Resolve to cut out your body in your face. And come November after Thanksgiving, we'll have to see what it looks like when we swap you out looking from this to that.
If it lasts that long. If it lasts that long.
Well, yeah, you got summertime coming up. You might change your tune once summer hits.
I'm sitting like,
It's not so much about it being itchy or not whatnot, but it does keep you a lot warmer. And if it's already too warm in the summer for you, then, well, might have to go.
I was just thinking about the dinner I could save for later.
My wife and I talked about that before, too, about, what are we going to do come summertime? Am I going to go back to a goatee? I guess we'll find out when we cross that bridge.
Exactly. Not planning that far ahead. We shall see. I'll give it a bash. I'll try. I will, really.
Mallory just got herself the Serpent RDA herself last week.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
That's brilliant. Good shit, man. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we'll save this for next week.
Space Turtle said, don't you dare touch that glorious beard. There you go. You beat up.
I can't believe how many people have complimented me on the beard already. Never thought that, beards were going to be that in fashion or in vogue.
Well, plus, last week, the old Miracle on 34th Street, you could have, honestly.
That was perfect.
That was.
I achieved my goal, and then the wife trimmed it up the day after.
I thought
it feels so much better now that I've gotten the trim on that.
I thought you'd actually get Richard Attenborough as a guest. I did.
Maybe we'll do like Vic does and do some charity event. And, the highest bidder gets to see it go away.
But yeah, that'd be fine, man. Get this off.
That's what we'll do next year. We'll have a charity event, and we'll have 2 pots. Shave it off or keep it. And whichever pot's bigger, all the money will go to charity. But whichever pot's bigger will be the end result.
Yeah, I'm absolutely fine with doing some. I mean, some of the stuff I used to do on Bargain Vapes for charity is just nobody. I've been dressed up as a full woman, to name a few things, quite a bit. But yeah.
I need to find time in our schedule to do an evening show here so I can catch the Aussie crew during the day.
Yeah,
maybe
man.
Get somebody like Birdman on the show, and it'll be wee hours of the morning for you.
Oh, so as long as it's in a happy night.
You can listen to the replay while you're at work the next day.
I'll just get somebody to put some strings to this and, just pull a string now and then.
Listen, now I've gotten pretty good with the stuff here. We haven't actually done him in a while.
Vaping
yeah, man.
Is better
awesome.
than smoking.
Yep, sure is. And Kenny, you didn't hear that because I didn't have it routed the right way.
That's okay.
One last thing we haven't talked about, and we'll wrap it up for today. 9 degrees, broken clouds. It's 15 over here.
Oh, you see, you're getting your warmth back again. So our glorious heat wave has ended, has it?
You can keep your cold air.
The thing is, you just seem to realize we get all the crap from America over here eventually because it comes over the big pond from you guys, and we get all the crap eventually.
Except during the summer months when you've got all the stuff coming up from Africa that divides the hemispheres.
The South is champion, but when it all comes over from the
Listen, the main reason I'm glad I love the cold, because you can always put more clothes on in the summertime. What are you going to do when you're already naked? You're sweating your whole hoo-hoos off.
Yeah. I mean...
So, I don't mind the cold. What I do mind is the utility bills that come from dealing with the cold.
Oh, hell yeah.
Gas and electricity is way too expensive nowadays.
Well, ours is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, 10 years ago, my electric bill used to be $50. Now it's $130.
I think they tried to take 384 quid out of our bank last month for gas and electric.
Yeah, if we weren't on the average payment plan in the wintertime, it would be ridiculous, especially the gas bill. Before I got on the average payment plan, I had a $1,200 gas bill the 1 month. I'm like, how? How is it possible to use that much in 1 month?
Thing is, I think they had something on the breakfast TV, right? They had the boss from I think it's Utilita, it was an energy company, and he says he's running this company at £100 million loss, and yet his pre-tax profits were 81 million. He's gone, well, that's not profit. That 81 million goes back into the business. Well, no, it's profit. So it's still profit at the end of the day, whichever way you look at it.
Well, it depends on the accounting method, because if you have like all your retail sales add up to 81 million, you still have to take off your expenses.
And up at the end of the day, how is he still running a company that's losing £100 million a month or whatever it is he was saying? Which is not feasible. Why would you run a country at a loss when you're losing that much? That's not feasible, is it?
You can't do it forever, I'll tell you that much.
No.
But I know lots of companies come end of the year is when they'll do giveaways for the tax purposes.
Definitely.
They'll do contests and stuff like that, and then give it away at the end of the year because it becomes a tax write-off, even though it didn't cost them that much. It's better for them on taxing and on the final accounting books for them to give a bunch of stuff away and donate it than it is for them to take the profit that they've made that year and pay 100% tax on that.
Kind of see where these companies are coming from, because obviously they're buying gas, whatever, wholesale at whatever cost. But it's the big giants, your Shells, your BPs, who are making record profits out of it. You know what I mean?
They've been making record profits for decades.
Exactly.
Oh man,
it's crazy. And then these suppliers going, well, we're not making. I think you can't run a business at a loss for too long. Put it that way.
You have mail.
No, believe me, they're not going to take a loss on it. That cost is going to be transferred over to somebody to pay that price.
The end user, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like everything.
Offshoring the profits also hides their profit potential.
Well,
put it into an investment.
The Space Shuttle one certainly hit. He said it's called Hollywood accounting.
Yes.
Definitely
the only
right.
problem is I know people that are excessive and they're cheap bastards. They won't stop, a lame dog and take them to the vet. They're the kind of people that will drive by that lame dog, not think twice about it, and use the Hollywood accounting to make sure that they don't pay any taxes at the end of the year.
Of course it is, man. It's no bollocks.
They literally have shell companies set up so that they can route the money through multiple channels, so it looks like they're not making any money.
Yeah. All offshore accounts and all that bullshit, man.
But they're getting paychecks from multiple sources.
Yeah. Where the rich can hide the money. That's what I'm saying. They can hide it.
Me and the common man like you and me are stuck paying our fair percentage.
I mean, how are you? You've got
what are we going to write off?
You've got a recent kind of chapter yourself with Mr. Trump's taxes. You know what I mean? We're still, not finding that out, are we?
Every Chinese import product that we buy all of a sudden now costs more, and we can't figure out why.
Exactly.
Oh, Walmart must be making a crap ton of money. No, they're just transferring the cost over that it costs them now, but to pay the taxes that Trump passed on China.
Yep. Definitely. I didn't like
all
the
right,
China.
Well, we're at 3 hours, sir. Time for us to wrap this up for today. My wish as always, folks, peace, love, and a hunky vape to end cigarette combustion. We'll be back same time next week. I wish you all have a fantastic week ahead of you.
Yep.
Your
boys
turn.
and girls, thank you very much to you guys, and chat again. I'll keep stating this and repeating it time after time. You guys make the show, you make it all worthwhile. Thank you all for your company. Again, I hope you've had an absolutely fantastic Christmas and New Year. I hope you got everything you wish for, with obviously. And again, look forward to seeing you all again, same place, same time next week. Until there, guys, you take care.
Have a great day, everyone. Even if they implemented some ridiculous laws, this is something that if somebody truly wants to do this, they can still do it. But it's going to take a lot of effort on the vapors' part to actually learn what it takes to make your own stuff. I don't know what the heck happened to the last hour of my life, but it certainly wasn't streamed on YouTube like I thought it was. Restrictive policies, block progress towards smoke-free world. Many people incorrectly think that very little nicotine content cigarettes are less carcinogenic than current cigarettes. This risk misperception by people who smoke could reduce motivation to quit under a nicotine reduction policy.
Someone who specialises in helping people kick the habit is Dr. Colin Mendelsohn. He joins me now.
Look, vaping is a far less harmful alternative to smoking for adult smokers who just can't quit, and that's actually the majority of them.
The road to quitting smoking is paved with candy. Double chocolate clear from TFA. Published in the Vaping Post, we have long-term study. Vaping increases odds of quitting heavy smoking. I concur with you. I've only been doing this for 2, coming on 3 years now. But I definitely feel so much better. Mrs. Hunky Vape gave me the first ever super chat. That is awesome. Thank you. You really know how to make my day. For those of you that don't know, this is Kenny Thompson, the Vaping Heed. He's got a YouTube channel. He's been on here a lot longer than I have. I'm not going to stop until this is legal and available for everyone. You know, I cover things from all around the globe, but that's because science has no boundary.
I mean, you know, the FDA and everything will know that vaping is safer than smoking, but they'll have the pressure off the tobacco companies or the states that are on the MSA and all that. It's just a financial thing, and unfortunately that takes precedence against everything. And
all of the things we went through. 'Cause even though we were broke as hell, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything. If I throw a coin down a wishing well, I wish I could feel it again, the way that I felt for you then. 'Cause even though change anything.